Hello, world. Hello, beautiful people. It's me, Sergio, and we have a special treat for you tonight. Tonight, we are running through a one shot of a not just a game, but an entire system that one of our very close friends, one of our dear friends, has created, written, produced. And we're just so impressed with it. We wanted to run it on our stream and show it off to the world. With me today is part of Mayday. We got Aaron. Hi, Aaron. You're actually above me in the stream, so I should look up. Eli is here. What's up, Eli?
Hi, happy Friday.
And Amanda.
Woo! How are y'all doing tonight? See, energy, Aaron, energy. Wake up.
Smile.
You fucking normie.
Tonight we this game that we are running is called NIGHTHAWKS, and it's using something called the caltrop system. And our buddy Lex, who is here, what's up, Lex?
Hi.
Is the person that created it, and we think it's awesome. And Lex, if you could just kind of explain to us the caltrop system and what NIGHTHAWKS is about, and how we can play this game.
Yeah, sure. I'm Lex. I'm TitanomachyRPG on Twitter. I was on a call to see one shot on the feed, which was very, very fun playing the Sea Striders. So the Caltrop core is a D4 based dice core that started as a joke between me, Eli, and our friend Maps and Quests over on Twitter. And we were just joking about a D4 dice pool game. And then Mappy said, oh, well, you could do each face of the D4 as a different result. You know, it's like a degrees of success. It's not too out of the ordinary. That's like Powered by the Apocalypse has 3 tiers. This would just be 4. It wouldn't be that much different. I was like, okay. And then they, because D4s are pointy, they're like, oh, we'll call it the Caltrop system. And then I later changed it to Caltrop core just for the alliteration. And yeah, so I went to go play, or I went to go see if I could design with this like joke that we made. And I was like, well, I need something here. So I wrote down like what each one meant. And so like 1 means absolute failure. You don't get what you want and things get a lot worse. Just a regular old failure. You don't get what you want, but you're in the same position as before. You're not losing ground. That's a 2. Yep. Right. And then a 3 is a partial success, which is you get a success, but then things get complicated. And then 4 is an absolute success, and you get what you want, and you get even more on top of it. And then it was just like a little thing in the Google Doc with like a bulleted list, and I showed it to the friends, and they're like, "Oh, this is kind of cool." And then I don't remember why I did it, but I did it up in like a little 1-page sheet that I could post on Twitter, and people could just like read it and be like, see if that's something that people wanted to look at. And then right away, people were like, I'm making a game with this right now. Like, it was sort of unreal how fast people were like picked it up and ran with it. And that's sort of when I realized like, oh, this is actually like a thing, and I can either support it and like, guide a community around it, or I can just like watch the train leave the station without me. I've got those 2 choices. So I wrote up a longer document that sort of explained how to use the dice core based on things that I had read, because I'm also a new game designer. I started last year, and I gave some tips to new game designers and made it really easy for anybody to pick it up and make a game with it. You can just like, you don't have to have any experience, and that also like it really took off. And then I recently held a game jam in December, and 92 games were made in 6 days using Caltrop core. And
That's
like
awesome.
Some people made more than one. People were like, I finished my one already in the first 3 days of the jam. I'm gonna do another one. Like, oh, awesome, great. So now there's like over 108 games on itch that have been made with this core. I released this in October. It's absolutely mind-boggling, and everybody in the community has been so cool, so supportive, and making really awesome games. Like, it's not a game on its own. It doesn't do anything unless somebody picks it up and makes a game with it. So really, truly, like, I didn't do anything for those 100 games. People saw that and they picked it up and they ran with it. So like, and every kind of game you could possibly imagine. There's a Winnie the Pooh game that you could play based on Caltrop core. There's a solo journaling game called Her Odyssey. Shout out to Kaya. That's a great heartfelt journaling. You use the dice to like sort of affect what happens.
I know Eli's made a couple of games with the Caltrops.
Yeah, We Lick Toad Goblins.
Yeah,
that's Eli made We Lick Toad Goblins, which you can get on itch.io. There's just every kind of game you could possibly imagine. I just tested last night a Metabots inspired game I built on the dice core, and you could just, it's really cool. It's really simple. So like if you want more complex mechanics, probably not. Go use Lumen by Gila RPG. Spencer Campbell was a huge influence on Caltrip Core. That uses D6s and has a little bit more crunch to it. Very, very good system. And I sort of, that was actually one of the main influences, plus reading Wanderhome, which is all just tokens. There's no dice at all in Wanderhome, which is another, just a beautiful, gorgeous game by Possum Creek Games, J-Dragon over there. Just an absolutely, I don't know if y'all have played it on stream, but you have to. It is so good.
Well, the thing I like about the Caltrop Core is that you have managed to like distill the mechanics of a game into the lowest number of as possible. You know, you just use a D4 for everything, and it really makes it simple. And I'm not surprised to hear that there's hundreds of games or at least 100 games that have been created using it. So
yeah,
excited to play this one.
Yeah, so NIGHTHAWKS is the first game I built on Caltrip Core, and I wanted it to be special for my first like full game release on my own system. And I've always loved the NIGHTHAWKS painting by Edward Hopper, which is all over Inside the Arts in the public domain. So I just used that image over and over again in different like orientations and stuff. And that's the painting with the people in the diner, and there's no door, and so there's sort of like feeling isolated and lonely, and like what do you do about that? And so I've sort of put it into a game format, and so we'll together tonight we're going to sort of build a diner together. It doesn't have to be a literal diner, it can be like any enclosed space. We'll make characters and decide on their relationships, and then we'll play out these nights, whatever time period they might be, and see if we can break through our isolation. Or you could choose to not even try, and that's also like you can take that action every time, and that's something that you will, I guess you can choose that, and you will figure if that's what you want to do for
stay there the whole game.
if you want to be alone, that's the thing, sometimes you just can't break out of it. Like there's a fully useless move in the game, which we'll get to, but people take it because it's like part of the story. So I guess we'll jump into the game proper. NIGHTHAWKS is a game for 3 to 6 players, and you all will play lonely people. What you do about it, if anything, is entirely up to you. Together we're going to build this diner, which is where the entirety of the game takes place. But again, it does not have to be a literal diner. It can be just any enclosed space that invites loneliness. The diner will always have the inescapable tag, but together right now on page 6, we are going to choose 2 additional tags, or more tags if you'd like. The last time we ran it, we played, we added some more tags on top. And together as the table, you all can decide which tags you want to add to this place, what kind of genre, like the tags kind of sort of cover genre and vibe, but also the tags serve an important mechanical purpose, which is if we hit a sort of lull and we're not sure where to go next, any player at the table, not just the GM, can invoke one of the tags to make something happen. So last time I ran this, one of the players was like, oh, I'm going to invoke the low gravity tag. And so everybody woke up floating out of their beds. People are someone's trying to cook for people in the kitchen, but like all the food is floating up above the counter. They can't even be on the ground. And so that you kind of create motion that way, and everybody at the table is equally empowered to do so.
One of us has to have an inspiration at the moment for what kind of tag we can add to this inescapable diner.
Yeah, which one of these, does any of these jump out at anybody?
We have extra small, soundproof, new friends or foes, low gravity, mithril mine. Some of these kind of just set us in a world. Like if we go mithril mine, like we're all dwarves or something,
Fantasy, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we should do soundproofing.
That's what I was
so that
thinking.
no one on the inside can be heard screaming.
I was thinking soundproof.
Very Aaron thing to say.
But would soundproof also mean we can't hear each other? Like, are we just screaming the whole time?
That's
Sound?
not how soundproofing works, I think. You all, the Hollywood people, I don't know if you soundproof a room, you can't hear people inside the room either.
Eli, that's how it works, right?
I mean, generally,
Right?
Technically, with enough soundproofing, you can.
Well, there's that
Block
quietest
out
room in the
enough
world,
sound.
right? Like
You
Yeah.
can actually hear
you
your
can
own
still hear
heartbeat.
yourself.
all right. So it's just
You know,
it's soundproof against other people from the
It's
outside.
like
hearing
more
us.
of like outside
If
noise.
you want to do a silence aura or whatever from somebody cast silence on the room, then that's also an option. No idea how that'll go, but that could be fun.
I'm super into like the noir 20s 30s vibe of this photo.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like whatever we are, I want to like embody this vibe. You know.
Yeah.
Soundproof. Losing power's interesting just because it's like an issue that is like ever present, but I don't know,
Yeah.
kind of creepy too. Like the power keeps going on and off.
And
We're on
it's
an
something you have to
oil
take care of.
rig.
On an oil rig.
One.
yeah.
No way. No one can hear you.
Yeah.
Ooh.
What's the ooh for?
No, I'm thinking. Oh, sorry. My
No, I wanna
my
hear it, I wanna
writer's
hear it,
brain.
'cause
My
we can,
writer's
like,
brain is going.
Put it all together. Like pick whatever tags, and then maybe we can find a way to create one place that embodies a bunch of these things, and it'll be just really weird. Because it can get really weird, and it's actually pretty fun.
I do kind of like the oil rig idea. I don't see it on the page, but I think that would be an interesting.
Yeah, oil rig is totally fine.
And
I
we
don't
should
know.
add syncing to the tag. Then.
Ooh, yeah.
Mm.
We'll do syncing oil rig.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Or is it losing power?
Well,
we can
losing power could be a part of it. Be like the fucking
yeah, yeah,
Titanic.
Yep.
Yeah, if it's sinking, it's gonna lose some power.
Losing power oil rig. So not soundproof. I don't know how you would soundproof.
No,
oil
no,
rig.
no, never mind the soundproof.
Well, you usually because the machines are so loud, there would be at least maybe certain places that would be soundproof.
True.
So
Desolate places are in some way soundproof.
True.
Exactly.
Right,
It's
like
just
no
the
one
sound
can
of the
hear you
ocean.
scream
No one
when
can
you're
hear
out
you.
there.
Yeah.
No.
it's
No one's gonna hear
only-
you.
Okay, this is interesting. And is this like more the mess hall than the diner? You know what I mean? Like we're always perpetually.
Well, I imagine it could be the whole rig, because like even like large spaces can be isolating.
Yeah,
True.
on an oil rig, you're out in the middle of the ocean potentially, and like that's extremely isolated. So
Some
it could
Okay.
be the whole thing.
shit.
You could have a mess hall area where people gather as well. Like you can pick out different places. I don't know the places on an oil rig, so you could just tell me the place that you want to go on the oil rig, and I
We're-
won't know any better.
I
we're
want to go to
gonna
the
give it a
nursery
mess
on the
hall.
oil rig.
Do the mess hall.
There's no children on oil rigs. I hope.
I hope. Please, God, no. Please,
Oh, no.
no.
All right, so our
no.
diner is an oil rig
Yep.
that we said is losing
Losing
power,
power.
sinking.
Yeah, and it's sort of, we'll say, isolated as well. I have this up in the shared Google Doc on page 1. I'll be working on page 1 on that doc, and y'all can have the other pages. But we can always add more later. We can change them up, whatever you all want to do. If something comes up and you want to just be like, oh, I had this idea before, and now it's going to make sense because this wild thing happened because we're Mayday roleplay, absolutely add that tag in. We can make it work.
Gotcha.
All right. So again, you can invoke any of those tags at any point to make something happen, and everybody will sort of rally together to figure out what that means for the story. So we're going to scroll down to page 10, and this is where we're going to make our characters. Making our characters really easy in NIGHTHAWKS because it's more about just prompts that make you think of a person that is focused around the core gameplay mechanic of breaking out of your isolation. So making your character consists of choosing a wound and then choosing a way they're trying to heal that wound. So choosing a wound for your character could be does not believe life is worth living but wants to believe, heartbroken, incurably nostalgic, uses humor as a deflection but wants to connect, hates God, the problem of suffering, longing for the next life. And obviously you can choose whatever other thing you want. These are just ideas for you to, pluck or change. Then and then we'll go with one way they're trying to heal that wound, which is, rushing emotional intimacy, substances, meditation, religion, just started therapy, romance, creating art, whatever it is that you might want to embody in this character. And actually, that reminds me, before we go into those characters, because this is sort of where it can get intense, definitely when you play this game, you want to implement safety tools. And for this game, we'll just avoid some of the rated R stuff. We're not going to do. Hopefully, there are no children on the oil rig, so harm to children should not be happening. I guess if you have a flashback, that's one thing, but also don't hurt a child in your flashback.
Oh,
Damn.
how
Okay.
messed up are we? Did the
Amanda, have you ever
I'm-
listened to our content?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Did you listen to today's episode specifically?
No, not today's episode specifically.
You need to
Look, Baran was fine. Sorry, spoilers for your show.
I'm trying to
or
think.
is it a spoiler?
Well, we won't do that. We won't do any of sort of assault like of the. I don't know what the stream is rated, but of the sexual variety. Let's not do
Consent.
slavery.
We're not touching that.
We're not touching that. That shouldn't be like we're just not going to be going into.
It's a nice, wholesome, sad time.
Yeah, wholesome sad time.
Yeah, just having
There-
some good old fashioned melancholy
I
time.
want to
Yeah.
feel good but cry at the same time.
Yeah,
That's
just
all.
get some feelings out. But also if you have
90s
anything.
rom-com, right? So like a Freddie Prinze Jr. movie.
Mm,
90s drama.
He retweeted me today. He retweeted.
Did he?
He retweeted the Rickroll spell that I made.
Freddie
But-
Prinze Jr.'s into D&D. Didn't know
Yeah,
that.
he
He's a
really
massive
loves
Star Wars
D&D.
fan.
You heard it here first
Uh,
on Mayday.
But so we won't do any of the big stuff. But also, if there's anything that you don't want and you don't want to say right now, you can DM me on Discord or in this OBS chat. Also, if something comes up and you feel bad about it and you don't like where it's going, put an X in any of the chats that I am looking at, which would be the OBS, Discord, and Twitch. You can also use a yellow light, red light system. So you can say like, if it's a yellow light, I'll take notice and sort of steer the scene away. If it's a red light, we'll just drop it, and it's not going to be even an issue. You won't have to explain why. We'll just move on. But yeah, so that, especially for a game like this where you are purposely tackling sort of harder issues of mental health and feelings of loneliness, which are, there's a lot of overlap between those areas. So, just make sure you take care of your friends is all. That's all it is. Take care of your friends and communicate. All right. Do people have an idea for their characters' wounds and their methods of trying to heal them?
Wound for your character or make your own. Okay, so anybody want to speak up before me?
You're who's number one? Go first.
You're number one. Sergio.
Thanks guys. Okay, so all right, so we're working on an oil rig, or just we're on an oil rig. I would imagine, like, when I was thinking diner, I was thinking I might want to be somebody that works at the diner. So maybe I'm working in the mess hall. And I had this idea of, like, I'm looking at the image of this like lonely diner late night, and I'm thinking maybe my character's wound is they're a people pleaser, or maybe they're desperate to please. And because of that, they've gotten burned a couple of times. And so maybe their way to heal it is to kind of isolate themselves. Like, I don't want to expose myself to people who can hurt me, kind of a idea. Does that will that work?
It sure can.
Okay. So my character's wound is they're desperate to please, and the way they're trying to heal this is they're trying to work at the weird hours of the night to avoid people, and obviously being in an oil rig.
It's sort of the temptation, I think, right? Is what you're saying, is like when someone shows, like when you're feeling really crummy and someone shows you like a crumb of affection, it feels like the whole world, and so like you can't resist that, and so you want to kind of isolate yourself because you just keep getting hurt by that, but you also can't stop yourself from trying again. So I think that can work. We'll see how the other characters will react to that, and you can absolutely do something like this because we will also be working on character relationships after this. So how you are connected to the other people,
Yeah.
which will likely create ways to interact, even if you're actively trying to stay away from connection. Yeah, I love that character. Come up with a name and some pronouns, Sergio, and you'll be set to go.
I'm gonna roll on a table and see. Name.
Ooh.
There's 4 names in the world. Roll a d4.
Oh, that's right. I rolled
Wait, is
a
that true?
3,
Are
but
there-
I don't know what those 4 names are.
Who's number 3? Who's number 3 in the doc?
Me. That's me.
You have to name Sergio's character.
Okay.
Well, why I gotta name Sergio? I'm the worst person to name people.
Because I rolled a 3, so and you're number 3, so.
Think of a name,
Ah.
Eli.
No,
I'm gonna
the
roll
thing
it.
is, like, you can give him the weirdest name now.
Yeah, just give me whatever name. Give me like a
Because I
Hawaiian
put
name.
you
I
on the
want like a
spot.
good Hawaiian name.
It could be a nickname.
Your character's name will be Eli, because that won't be confusing at all.
No,
Sure.
wait. Let's come up with a name because it will be confusing as hell.
No, I know. How about
Give me like 5 seconds. Can I have 5 seconds?
yes?
Okay, 5
Google
seconds.
search. No.
4,
No.
3, 2.
No.
Let's see, name.
2.5. Just say the first one that comes in your head now.
Mark is the only name that came up.
Mark.
Mark.
All right,
Mark. Haha.
I prefer to go by Marky Mark, but Mark.
I
Okay.
will definitely call you Marky Mark.
All right. Who wants to tell us about their character next, or
Well,
ask
I
any questions?
Oh, we could ask Sergio questions.
Oh no, you can ask me questions about.
Oh, okay.
If you have questions about character creation.
I thought you meant we could ask Sergio questions about
I
his character.
can't
get
stop
to
you
that,
from
I
doing
think, at
that.
some
It's
point,
not
but-
part of the game, though.
Got it. Well, I'm number 2, and by the rules we've established, 2 comes after 1.
Yes.
Mathematics.
We established that rule.
Yeah,
Not three, not
we
the
made
not
that
Asian
rule.
people. We made that rule tonight.
Yes.
The more you know.
So okay. At first, when you started explaining everything, I thought you said that one of the wounds was you hate ska, but then I realized you said you hate God. And
Do both.
Why do you hate
So-
ska, Aaron?
What does ska mean to you?
What
Is
does
that,
ska
was it the
do to
favorite
you?
genre of your ex or whatever? So now you hate ska as if you needed a
yeah.
reason.
Yeah.
no,
Maybe they were in a
I
ska band.
I now realize this is a serious game, so we'll do something real.
We can go goofy too, but at the core will be some realness. But
Yeah, jokes are
it gets
inevitable.
it gets goofy for sure.
I'll have like an addiction to gambling. And the way I'm trying to heal it is with more gambling because
yeah.
I'm convinced that the big score is just right around the corner that will
Yep.
solve all of my problems.
What are you backyard gambling on an oil rig?
Yeah.
I mean, when there's nothing
Yeah,
else
man,
to
so
do, I bet
Are we
it's pretty
are you
popular.
just playing like
This
liar's
is-
dice on Davy Jones' ship?
Yeah.
Oh shit!
These are
yes.
international waters, Eli.
Anything goes.
Go.
All right,
bet
I
on
have-
anything.
I have only one follow up, and you don't have to answer now. But as we move forward, how did the gambling start? Is my only question.
Ooh.
And-
I think it started. I was on my honeymoon. And I'd recently come into a large amount of money that we inherited from my new wife's dead parents who died one day before our wedding. And I gambled it all. I took it all to the craps tables, convinced that I could double our money because some guy in the elevator came to me while we were in Vegas on our honeymoon and said, "Hey man, do you want to weigh the triple your cash?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, I want to weigh the triple my cash." And the next thing I knew I was homeless, destitute, and divorced.
Are you sure the way of healing isn't the stories you tell along the way?
All right,
So he
very
could
cool.
feel
That's actually a pretty legit good healing of like you're just always recounting all your wild gambling stories, thinking
I do
it'll
like
somehow
that.
solve
Like
something.
Big Fish, yeah.
He's the,
Yeah, big fish.
Yeah.
You're the
Well, you
storyteller.
know, back in 2011.
The year is 2069.
Nice.
And-
Nice.
No, we can do it modern day, or we can do 40s, whatever it is. Great. So there's another character down. Sergio's number 3, or Eli's number 3. Sergio's
I'm
number
number 3.
one. Number 3.
I think the wounds I'm gonna pick is both heartbroken and incurably nostalgic, and I'm healing my wounds through creating art by making little paper cranes because I don't have to talk to people. I can just give them a little paper crane, and then we'll call it a day.
Hell yeah.
Move on.
That's like
Yeah.
people. That shit happens in this game so much, and I love it. It's like just the little tiny.
Like tiny things.
Although there's a lot of big things too in the playtest. They were doing a sci-fi one, and it was losing power, low gravity, something else, hurtling through space, and it was a literal diner inside the space station. And one of the players was like, "Oh, I fixed this panel thing," and we were like, "Oh, what is it?" And it was like, "Oh, this is in case we just want to like open the airlock and just end it really fast." So big things happened too. That was Shane, by the way, Eli. That was at Fat Magic RPG. You know, the people make the very
Thanks.
fun the very fun
Very
food
nice,
setting
Shane.
for 5e. No, yeah. So the thing that always happens, is like everyone insists that it has to be an actual diner, and it's twice has been like hurtling through space, losing power. I think all 3 times has been losing power. 2 of them were space. One of them was sinking in the ocean in like a big off of a undersea lab or something.
Oh, interesting.
Bananas. But people always insist that like first of all, we have to be it has to be a diner. Second of all, the only way I'll be vulnerable is if our characters are probably gonna die at the end of this. That's just every time.
Well, we are sinking,
Well,
so
Yeah, you're
Bold of you to assume we won't follow suit.
yeah. No,
this
you were like, oh, there's a mess
Titanic now?
hall. It's like it's the mess hall, and now it's gonna be all done up like a real diner, and it's losing power, it's sinking. Yeah, they did sinking on the other one too. So there's certain ones on here. Clearly, like some parts of the list are much stronger of a draw than the
Yes.
others.
yeah, there's just something more evocative about them or something.
And there's that urgency of like, oh, it's gonna end,
Right.
and so I have to figure out how I want to navigate that. But yeah, so we have Eli making paper cranes, nostalgic and heartbroken. And
No,
then
we have to
Amanda.
pick names for each other, right?
Oh,
Yeah, for Aaron and Eli.
True. Aaron, roll a d4. This is not part of the rules; it just happened, so we're gonna keep going.
Let's do it.
Oh,
It's
Hell
a
yeah.
part of the rules now. I rolled a 1.
A 1. That means
Surge.
Sergio gets to name.
So
your
I get to
character.
name Aaron's character, and Aaron's character is a gambler. Sunny. I'm thinking Sunny.
Sunny.
Yeah.
Nice.
What's his nickname? Because there's always like Sunny Fast Hands Jenkins or something like that.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Sunny no thumbs.
Sunny no gums.
No thumbs.
No
thumbs.
thumbs.
I'm
No
into
gums.
no thumbs.
Sunny no
No
thumbs.
thumbs.
No thumbs.
I love that.
I got them cut off for counting cards.
It's like Looper, where they just like
Yeah.
they get you. Okay, Eli, what'd you roll on your?
Oh
D4?
shit! I gotta roll. I rolled a 3, so that doesn't count.
You
So
have
let me
to
roll
choose
again.
your own name.
Oh, I rolled a 1.
Okay,
Surge.
Serge.
That was me. So what? Now I have to name Eli too?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jesus.
Yep.
Sergio, you
All
just
right.
gotta do all the work.
That-
Eli's
these-
making
these the rules.
cranes. Eli's making cranes. Your name is Henrietta.
It is now.
Terrible.
Terrible. Just god awful. I love that.
Just terrible name.
All
I
right.
got it.
That poor child.
Yeah, if you want to come up with a nickname because you hate your name,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
fine too.
You just call me Henry.
Henry. Oh, that's cute. Okay, Amanda.
Yes.
Tell us
Okay.
about your character.
I am gonna go with maybe not so much hates God, but hates religion.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
think
You're
this
you're a mod on our atheism on Reddit. You're a moderator.
it's kind of there we go. Let's do but here's the thing, because it ties into, I want to say even though they hate religion, I'm going to go ahead and do meditation. So we're going to do meditation and also kind of like maybe some stimming, so like repetitive.
Yeah, cool. Hell yeah.
So you're kind of like a Sam Harris type of like, reject the spiritual kind of mystical stuff, but but I mean, like, because like meditation is from
It's
religions and stuff like
Exactly.
that too. So
They're like,
It's pretty cool.
they think organized religion is bullshit. That's
Mhm.
the problem.
mm.
Because how can a person dictate to another person what is good or evil?
Hell yeah. So roll a d4. We're gonna have somebody name your character.
All right. Shit. Nope, that's me. Eli, number 3.
Let's call you Jones. I don't know why.
Jones.
That's
I
your name,
can
though.
dig it. Yeah.
It is a very like noir name too, like Jones.
Jones.
Love
Call me
it.
Jones.
Okay, so we have our basic sketches of our characters, and the last thing we'll need to do before we start the game is we're going to create connections between them. So if you go to page 12 of the PDF, you're going to choose another character to have a connection with, and I'll read out the list in a moment. But let's just try to make sure that everybody gets at least one. You can try to make sure everybody gets like 2. That they've done that before in other games where and like just jot it down in your notes so that you know how to relate to or what you want to guide that relationship. So I'll read these out for everyone, and of course you can make your own. First is we used to date. I have a crush on you. I've seen your face in my dreams once a year, every year of my life. Our families met when we were on childhood vacations. I was your waiter once, and I feel you treated me poorly. You were a past life of mine. We used to be in the same guild in an MMO. I'm your rival. I'm your guardian angel. We've never met before this, but I already dislike you. We've never met before this, but I already want to make you smile. So those are just some like prompts. So clearly you can get a little mystical with it if you would like. Depends on what sort of story you all would like to tell. In the charity stream last time, they chose like you were a past life of mine, and it was a really interesting, like it sort of blurred genres and stuff. It was really cool.
Ooh.
But y'all can you can make stuff up too. I'm curious to hear which ones jump out at you.
I think the past life thing is kind of fun.
Right. I think for your character too, especially because it's like you're doing the meditation, you don't believe in organized religion, but like there's some sort of like there's something there, and maybe that's something you can address with another character who.
You know what? I feel like Marky Mark could have been something of a past life. Like I'm like, we've met. We've
Mhm.
definitely been. We've linked up in some way, shape, or form.
Okay.
If you're okay with that, Serge.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you don't have to do the weird like temporal thing that bullet implies, but if you want to do something similar to that, like some sort of like soulmate, however you want to play that, or however you want to.
Yeah, maybe
whatever you wanna
I was
characterize
just
that
in
way.
your past life in some way or part of it.
Cool. Does anything jump out to anyone besides that? We can kind of like everybody choose one, and we can like sort of patch up any holes that happen along the way.
I don't think my character would admit to having any rivals. Let's see.
Eli, remind me what your deal is.
Like my wounds and stuff.
Yeah. Wait, no, I can just look at it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's.
I forgot we have this sheet where it's written
Yeah.
down.
I make paper cranes.
I got one. So for my character, I was there. I was Eli's waiter once, like on the rig, like I worked in the mess hall, right? And they seem to be a pretty shy person, but I construed that as they don't like me or they're angry with me or something like that. So I felt that they treated me poorly by not love bombing me the way I always want to. So that's
Ooh,
my
I love
thing with
that.
Eli.
Down. Cool.
Here's what I think.
What do you think?
What do you got,
I
Eric?
think Henry is really into folding paper cranes. Now you'll notice that I have no thumbs, but I need to be able
Is
to
this
use
a rivalry?
cards. No, it's not a rivalry. It's I want to make you my protege because you're talented with your thumbs, and I can't use mine anymore. So I want to teach you how
Can
to
I ask you, what do you
gamble
do in this rig? What do you do? What do you do for a living here? What do
He
you
pushes
Well, I
one button.
imagine-
He pushes one button with his.
What do you do in this rig?
I'm just a working Joe. I don't know what I do. I just show up and I collect a paycheck, Eli.
You just gotta grab something.
That's called
and
embezzlement.
look it up.
You
You
just
turn-
show up and take money. That's embezzlement.
But it's a job.
Okay.
All jobs
so-
are valid. Embezzling money from a corporation is valid.
Okay.
Thank you for being so brave, Lex, saying that.
All right. So you're teaching me the ways of.
I'm trying to convince you to let.
This
me
is
teach
this is like Scent of a Woman,
way.
but just on an oil rig.
I don't know what that is, but it
Scent of a
sounds
Woman
cool.
is a movie with Al Pacino where he plays a blind guy that like kind of like tutors or like takes another kid under his wing or something.
Yeah, and Eli, you can choose however you want to, like, however your character feels about the way this guy's trying to teach you to gamble. It's up to you how you feel about that, but yeah, I think it's a fun.
We'll
It
figure
makes
it
sense
out.
for the character.
That's funny as fuck. Yeah.
Amanda, you have a mischievous look on your face, or is that
Don't
just your
even-
face?
Don't even worry about it.
Amanda has what we call resting mischievous face.
Every time I look over at Amanda, it's another face, and I'm like, that's a lot of information for me to handle right now.
Yeah.
And
All
I
right,
want to
I don't
interpret the
hide
information,
it.
I just don't have. I just can't process the information fast enough.
I have another connection for me. I think with Sunny, my character Mark is he reminds me of my father who I could never please. So my father
Ooh.
lost a thumb. He only lost one thumb, but it reminds me. And so I think I'm gonna constantly. I'm not gonna take the I have a crush on you, but it's like I have like a I want to please you kind of a thing.
Yeah, for sure. His name was what is it? One Thumb. That was his nickname, and this guy's Two Thumbs. So it's
Yeah.
actually an up. It's an or no thumbs. So it's
Johnny
zero.
one thumb.
So you kind of just you take what you can get. It's the next best thing.
Exactly.
I think with Jones, I'm gonna do. I've never met before, but I really want to make you smile because I feel like Jones is like an intimidating person,
Mhm.
and I can't confront that kind of energy. So I'm just trying to find a way to connect
Permanent.
with this person,
RBF face, resting bitch face, all day. Yep.
but like inner peace though.
You went
Hell yeah.
neutral. Yes.
All right. Who else would like to choose one?
I think I have two now.
I only have. Oh, I'll do one for Aaron where I see like this guy just like going on a downward path. So I want to try to be and also he has no thumb. So I'm gonna like act like kind of like a guardian angel and be like, if he needs help with certain things, I'll be like, I got that.
Cool. Nice. When you did this, it looked like you were doing like Wolverine claws, but it was just hands with no thumbs. That was it. Excellent. Does anyone else want to establish another connection, or would you like to just move on into gameplay? Because you can add more than it doesn't have to all be equal. It's just sort of whatever appeals to you.
have one for everyone.
Cool. Heck yeah. So we are going to move on to page 14, which explains NIGHTHAWKS happens in nights. Each night can last an hour, a full evening, or any amount of time you want. Every night, each of the players will choose one of the actions on this page and try not to take the same action 2 nights in a row, but it's not a hard rule. The first action you can take is Daydream, where you'll narrate a scene that plays out in your head, and at the end of it, you'll gain 1 token. And so the tokens represent D4s. Once you can gather any amount of tokens using the actions that we'll go over in a moment. Expend those tokens, you'll take the highest roll out of the pool, and then that will sort of determine what happens next. The next action is reach out to another character, which is initiate a scene with 1 or more other players. At the end of the scene, you'll roll 1d4 minus 1. If the scene ended positively, you'll gain that many tokens, and if it ends neutrally or negatively, you'll lose that many tokens. You cannot have negative tokens. Ideally, you'll decide together how the scene went, but typically the player on the receiving end of this action will, they'll get to have the final say. There's also the withdraw action, which is the useless one I was talking about earlier, which is you neither gain or lose tokens, but your isolation die ticks down by 1, which we'll also talk about that. But it's basically your health, and it's just a D4, and it ticks up and down to keep track of where you're at emotionally. And so people do take the withdraw action because it sort of makes sense for the story as it's progressing. It clearly has no mechanical benefit and is in fact a mechanical detriment. But it's there. It's available for
But
the
it's
story.
what my character would do.
Look, it's all about how do you want to tell the story about your isolation, and you kind of have to have a withdraw move there for these people. Sometimes you just can't. Sometimes it's just like too much. And then the final move is keep going, which is how you spend your tokens. You'll call on your connections with others to attempt a significant move toward happiness, whatever that means for you. Choosing this action allows you to expend any number of your tokens, rolling that many d4s. Your highest number will determine what happens next. And we'll go to page 16, which has a modified version of the Caltrip Core table that I have in the SRD. Still has the 1, 2, 3, 4, but they also have corresponding token amounts, isolation die, values. So if you get a 1, your isolation die will tick down by 2. If you get a 2, it'll tick down by 1. If you get a 3, it'll tick up by 1. And if you get a 4, it'll tick up by 2. And then you'll narrate what goes through your character's mind based on the results. So it's sort of a prompt for you to explore more of the inner life of your character. The isolation die is a d4, and you can either choose for it to start at 2, or you can roll it and see where it lands and just use that as your health to track your health, or your quote-unquote health. And you can just choose how you want to do that. When the die hits 0, you lose the ability to reach out with your heart temporarily. You lose access to the reach out to another character action until you can get your die back up to 1 or higher, or another player uses the reach out to another character action on you. So that'll restore that for you if someone reaches out to you. If you incur a success, so if that's a 3 or 4, while out of 4 on your isolation die, you can give your result to another player, replacing a next roll of theirs. And then you want to play out a scene with them just to justify how you're transferring that sort of overflowing kindness from your character to theirs.
Makes sense.
And the game ends basically when we decide it ends. We can do it naturally based on when it feels like the story has come to an end. We'll narrate an epilogue for the characters. We also have optional ending rules. If someone wants a more concrete ending, which is if everybody hits 0 in the same night, or everybody hits 4 in the same night. 2 very different outcomes, but that's also could be, I could see someone going for an all 0 run of Nighthawks or an all 4 run.
If we hit all 0, we know we sync with the oil rig.
We sync with the ship.
We
Yep.
get all
We sync
4
with the
so we
ship.
get out of here altogether.
Yes, that's a cool.
I have a question in terms of if you allow this. I have a different kind of D4. Have you ever seen this kind where it's like a little bit of a rounded D4?
I've seen
so that's allowed, right? I can use that?
Yeah. Guess what? I didn't come up with the name.
No, spiky boys only.
I didn't come up with the name, so I don't have any attachment to it. I'm using a D12 that's done up. It does 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 times.
Oh, that's funny.
And they've got these little Sharingan ass graphics on them. And so
I mean, let's be honest. The D4s just don't roll well. Those Caltrop
it
D4s.
feels.
Yeah.
Eli, it looks like Eli dropped for a second in response to what you said.
I'm out.
It's fine now. It's fine now, Eli. But it was just like a moment.
All I'll say is that D4s are the Satan's Legos.
Satan's Legos.
Jeez, that is a good one. I'm gonna use that.
Okay, so really the only thing we have to decide is how long do we want each quote-unquote night to last. We can do an evening, and you can just do day by day, which is sort of more natural than a 24-hour like clock that you kind of just pick every hour. But if you have any other ideas, it could be a week long. You know, you could have it go on for a long time.
I mean, I'm thinking like we're basically just like we find out our oil rig is sinking and like we send for help and we're like basically just waiting for help to come, but it's going to take a couple days or whatever, you know, so we're just roughing it in the meantime. Maybe we only come out at night, maybe we sleep during the day. And
they could do that. You could do sort of, you could have even each action represent how you're spending the whole day, or in other times I've run it, I've had like everybody met in the diner in the evening, and during the day I would be like, well, how do you spend your day, and you kind of do it that way. But Amanda, would you have an idea?
I was gonna like just piggyback off you, Serge. It's I kind of like maybe in the daytime, that's when we're on the job because we can actually see. It's 1920s,
Oh,
we're losing
yeah.
power. So like at night we have to be be in.
And and we can like take our breaks and stuff, and we have time to interact. Yeah, I like that.
Right.
And it's losing power too, so it's like
exactly. So it's like to save as much power. That's why certain parts of the ship we can't go to. That's why the mess hall is, and maybe another couple spots. But
yeah, maybe the mess hall is where like the emergency power is sort of, that's the only place where it's all rigged up, or at least in a place big enough for people to gather. Yeah, I love that. So you'll have sort of like your daytime jobs. We don't have to go through every single daytime period. We'll mostly be focusing on the sort of fraught evening time as everybody meets together in the same space. How's that sound?
Yeah, I think I have an idea to start. So
cool.
Remind me again. I basically just have to announce an action. What action I'm taking, right?
Yeah, you'll just tell the table, I'd like to do this action, and then we'll just go from there.
I think I'm going to hold on. Let me go back to
that
page.
You can also sort of, if you want, as we're starting to get into the story proper, describe where you're at in the scene, or sort of like let's place ourselves in the space of the mess hall, like where your character is in relation to the other characters. If there are any NPCs that you want to interact with, nobody's taken that choice yet, but I can run that since we have a GM.
Okay.
But also it can be like, they're just randos and really focusing on y'all's thing. That's also cool.
Fuck those people. We don't like them.
There's only 4 people that work on this oil rig.
It's a modern rig.
It's a very lonely rig.
You're all computer engineers.
Look, we either go or we don't. We've accepted that reality at this point.
I'd like to think that, it's like nighttime when I'm serving dinner to everybody, right? So I'm, handing trays to people, and what did I name him? Sonny. Sonny is kind of coming up, and when I start giving him food, I'm like, in hushed tones, I'm like, hey, Sonny, listen, with the whole ship sinking and stuff, we're kind of running out of food and all, but I do have 2 live chickens left. If you wanted to maybe hold a little cockfight later, we could invite everybody. And
you think just because I'm a gambler I'm okay with animal cruelty? That's a bold assumption of you to make. We are running low on food.
I'm against animal cruelty too. I just was like, I always see you rolling dice and begging everyone to gamble and stuff. I just thought it would be a fun thing to do on our last nights possibly alive if we don't get help.
Well, I guess we are running out of food, so if we need to supplement our stores, survival of the fittest is a good system, I think.
I was gonna have to just put them out of their misery anyway, but
yeah, you're right. You know what, on second thought, we might as well have some fun with it.
Oh, another Mayday roleplay thing where you just hurting animals.
I was gonna say, Aaron,
how?
To be fair, I'm the one that introduced it, but I was literally
very
like,
first action. We just started playing.
What is the one thing I have access to that he can gamble? And I was like, cockfight. We can have a chicken fight. But here's the joke. These are chickens. These are not actual cocks. So like they're not going to be able to kill each other. Like they're not going to
have the bar.
This is not going to end with one of them killing the other.
Two chickens in a
Yeah, it's gonna end up having to
chickens.
be like a race or something.
That's very
Perhaps they
fun.
were.
I'm
Perhaps
too
they were
immature.
appropriately
It's not about the chicken thing. It's just the fact you guys kept saying it all the time. I'm a 12-year-old inside. Sorry.
Oh, you thought we were gonna
Porch.
have that kind of a cockfight?
I got very. I was like, whoa! Right out the gate.
No.
I have
No.
Sergio and Aaron. They'll go pretty far if they like tag each other. I was like, what's happening? I don't know.
I think the animal thing's more extreme than the alternative.
But I think that's maybe
The
part of the
alternative.
conversation that I have with Sunny is I'm like, but I realize now these chickens aren't actually going to kill each other. Maybe we have a race. Maybe they wrestle each other. Like what else could we do with these chickens to gamble?
All right, yeah, you're on. I got $100 on the scrappy little one.
Do you have
I
$100?
always like to bet
Sunny?
on the runs. Do I have $100? Yeah, sure, I got $100.
I believe you. I believe you. All right, so we'll tell everybody tonight at midnight. We'll do it, or
Hell yeah!
cool. I'm cool,
Could you
right,
dish
Sonny?
out some potatoes for me? I don't have any thumbs to pick up the.
Oh,
spoon.
of course. Whatever you want, Sonny. Here's extra.
Thank you.
Slob Swan.
I'll go sit down now.
All right, so
Excellent.
I guess I now roll a d4 then to see overall how that went.
Yeah, so that was your reach out to another character. You'll roll 1d4 minus 1. That was a
Okay,
positive
Here we go.
interaction. I would
Hopefully.
say.
I rolled a 2.
So you'll gain 1 token for your pool.
Okay, gotcha. So I add just 1d4, put it next to my count or my isolation die, basically.
Yeah, you just have like a little pool of the d4s that you'll have available to roll. You can spend any amount of them when you take the keep going action.
Gotcha.
Excellent. I think we should. The camera probably follows Sunny back over to the table. I really want to know what's going to happen next.
I'm gonna sit down right across from Henrietta, and I'm gonna talk to Henrietta, and I'm gonna say, Henrietta, you know, you got such marvelous hands. Some might call them magic hands. There's a lot I could teach you how to do with those hands if you were so inclined.
Henry's not even sitting across from you. Henry's like lounging over the entire tabletop and like hanging off the edge and like with their head like upside down, and they're just kind of folding a paper crane while you're trying to pitch them this, and isn't really paying attention to you and just keeps making cranes.
Also,
Like,
one
on
more
their head and keeps
thing.
going to the next one.
Could you put a spoon in my claw? I can't pick it up because I don't have a thumb. Could you just kind of like thread it on in there? I'd really appreciate that.
So he hasn't learned how to use the
Like-
thumbs yet, or how to use his hands yet. The thumb injury is recent.
No.
I'm trying to
Ask-
create engagement here. Don't out me.
like I'll like flip up like halfway just so that I can see, like make eye contact, and I'll kind of roll my eyes, sit up, and then try to wedge the spoon in between your fingers so
Thank
you can help. You're welcome.
I imagine the rest of your fingers are also not in good shape. Feels like probably
They've
got them
probably
broken.
been broken a
in a
couple of
bunch of
times.
times.
They're like at like weird angles and shit. Yeah.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah, what you got?
For a person who really likes fingers and hands, you don't really like to take care of your own. What's up with that?
Well, you know, that's kind of a long story. You see, back in 1968, I was running some craps out in an alley in Manhattan, and I accrued a very large debt to a man named Spicy Joe. Spicy Joe worked with the local mafia, and well, you know, long story short, I took a little on paying my bill, and there was a run-in involving a baseball bat.
My fingers were the balls.
My fingers were the balls, Sergio.
So you
made a
lost your
play.
you lost your finger. So you lost your fingers by a bat?
Well,
I
that's
thought you
how
lost your fingers
that's
from
how
a
these
knife.
ones got broken. The thumbs got cut off at a casino in Las Vegas several years ago.
Why do you bet your fingers?
Oh, I
Feel like
didn't
they're
bet
better
my
things-
fingers. The fingers
Okay,
are
with
what
a cough.
happens when I keep talking to people like this.
So are you saying that if I follow down your footsteps, I'll end up like a fingerless man like you?
If you work really hard, yes.
Salesman wasn't your first job, was it, huh?
I gave it a try for about 5 years. Didn't work out. I actually wound up owing money on the commissions.
Your boss ran over your fingers.
Yeah,
They always target
That's
your
how-
hands.
that's how I lost the function in this one. See, look, I can only move this about 15 degrees here.
Well, okay. Well, I'm gonna go get dinner before it gets cold. I'll see you later.
Thanks for putting a spoon in my hand.
I think that's the refrain that rings out in this very quiet cafeteria because people are sad about maybe dying, and it's like, thanks for putting a spoon in my hand. And I think we follow Henry. Before we do that, what action would you call that?
Probably.
Aaron, let's
Aaron.
reach out to another character.
Speak to another
Yeah.
character.
I was trying to reach out to Eli. I do not think it went well.
I would say neutral at best. Luckily, you're at 0 tokens, so you can't lose. You have nothing to lose here. So
Ha! Loophole.
Nothing to gain either.
you can't get anything, but at least, Sonny's living in his own world and is having a good time? Question mark?
Not for a long time.
I got my spoon, man. That's all I need.
Okay, Henry, what's Henry gonna do? We don't have to necessarily follow the sequence in chronological order, and we don't have to do a one take thing. What is Henry gonna be
I
doing?
dig this. I think I'm gonna join the lunch line or the dinner line. And then I think I'm gonna notice Jones just out his face doing their thing. And I'm gonna do that weird thing where I'm not saying anything, but I'm slowly inching closer, hoping to not be noticed so that I could put a paper crane on their lunch tray
Aw.
discreetly.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. I'd probably be zoned out, to be honest. Jonesy would be zoned,
So peek
wanting
up
to.
and try to disappear.
Can I actually roll to see if I see it? I almost want to see
You can decide however you want if you see it or not. You can say
Yeah, I
yes or
see
no.
it. I
Okay.
did it. Yeah, I see it. I'm gonna be, what the? Look around. How many people are here? Because if not, I'm gonna spot you kind of skedaddling really
I
quickly.
think there's other people here for sure.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
but
but,
they're not smooth about it.
No, it's probably I don't know, 30 people in here. I don't know how many people work on an oil rig.
Okay.
I gotta go. Run
I-
away with my
I-
brace. Sit back down with Sunny. Wait, shut the
Hello again.
Who's next?
What?
Oh wait, I thought you were.
No, that was
Yeah,
me.
but-
That was it. I was just
That was
I
it?
just wanted to give you a crane and leave and hide and run.
Oh,
You can
I-
confront me about it if you like, but I
No, I
ran
thought
away.
you were having a scene with Aaron, you were continuing.
no.
That's why we were watching. We're like, what's
Yeah.
happening now?
Just everybody being so excited for somebody,
What was
for
about to
their fellow people to do. It's so wholesome, and then nothing happens. It's really sweet. Okay, so I think that's all. We can say that's. Do we think that's positive? Amanda, how does your character feel about this? Is this a positive or a weird thing? What's
No,
what are you
I
feeling
would
about
say
it?
it's a positive thing. Yeah, the character's okay, they like it. They
Cool.
do.
So give me that 1d4 minus 1. Eli.
That was a 3, so -1 would be 2.
So you gain 2 tokens
2 tokens.
to your pool, your little token pool. Very good. And we're still doing the same take. It's a one take, and we're gonna go. We're still stuck on. We're gonna be on Jones's face now as it sort of pans away from Sonny and Henry. So we're all right, and then back to you. What's going on?
I'm gonna take the crane and I'm gonna kind of smirk and I'm gonna put it in my pocket for a second. And I'm going to approach Marky Mark. And
Oh, hey, Jones. Yeah, Jones. Hey, you want some more mashed potatoes?
yeah, do you mind just a little bit more? You do a great job with it.
Yeah. Hey, did you did Sonny tell you about the big chicken race that's gonna happen tonight?
There's a chicken race gonna happen? For real?
Oh, he didn't tell you. Oh,
No.
I thought he was excited about it. Well,
Well,
anyway.
I haven't. I just ran in from outside, so I didn't see Sony
yeah.
yet. But
Oh,
I'm
okay.
sure
I'm
I
surprised
will.
the news didn't travel faster, but that's okay. Tonight, I'm planning to have a big chicken race for Sonny because I know how much he loves to gamble. So thought that would be a fun thing for everyone to just kind of camaraderie together.
That is very morbidly beautiful. That's very morbidly beautiful. I like what you did.
I mean, no one's gonna. No chickens aren't gonna die. They're not gonna fight. They're not
I mean,
gonna
if
peck
the
each other to
chicken,
death.
if we die, the chickens are gonna die anyways.
And I'm gonna cook them tomorrow, so they are dying. Period. But
Oh, well.
so I figure we have some
Sucks to
fun
be
with
the
them.
chicken.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
always sucks to be the chicken.
Or the chicken was reincarnated from another life, and that's his punishment.
Oh, you believe in that kind of stuff?
I mean, I would say I'm open to it. It's like it's so massive and it's so big, and sometimes it's hard to put to words.
Wow.
You get it.
Yeah, I guess you're just always talking so much shit about religion and stuff. It's interesting to me
Oh
that
yeah,
you...
no, because people suck ass. People
Yeah, that's
suck.
true.
Let's if we're gonna get into it in like I don't get hold on everybody, just chill. So listen. How did that book just land on the ground? It didn't. It was written by man, and man is stupid. So
Yeah, Jones, you
That's
remind me every time you walk in the lunch line. I know the story. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
that's the kind of shit that goes through my brain. But
Yeah.
I will go to your chicken fight. No,
Awesome.
nah, chicken run.
Chicken race. Yeah, chicken run.
Chicken race.
Chicken run. Yeah.
Chicken. Gosh. See. Do you have a Coke?
And sued.
Do you have a Coke?
A Coke? Oh, yeah. Hey, yeah, for sure.
Just a little bit slide.
I know that I don't have a Coke, so
Motherfucker.
I'll look for something. I'll probably take a Sprite and like add some cocoa powder to it or something. and that's what I give you. It's like here you go. Last
I'm
Coke.
gonna be like,
Last
I'm gonna
Coke.
I want to take that and be like, awesome, thank you. Be like, walk over.
See you later, friend.
Woohoo! See you later. While I'm passing the table with Sunny and Henry, I'm gonna go ahead and take that crane out of my pocket and like place it right by Henry. Be like, this is really cute, thank you. And then I'm just gonna go ahead, pick it up again, and walk down and just sit at another table.
I freak out internally.
Screams internally.
Hold on. Just because I'm in that
Shovels
mood.
Mashed potatoes in face.
Jonesy's gonna go ahead and do a great 90s hair flip, lock eyes, and just kind of do that slow movie wink, and then just get into my meal.
Mortified.
Wow.
I know what I'm doing.
So cute. So we love it. We love to see it. Would you describe the interaction you had with Marky Mark as positive, neutral, or negative?
Well, I kind of see it as it's between neutral or positive, because it's like just wanting to kind of like, I'm trying to, get in his circle. He invited me to the chicken race. So I'm actually going to say like, cool. And then I knew I nailed it because I saw like Henry and I was like, yeah, I'm on a high on that one too.
Yeah, I think this could be
So
a positive thing. So roll that D4 minus 1.
2.
2. So you'll gain 1 token that you'll be able to spend. I think. Has everybody taken an action?
I think so. And just
Yes, we
to
have.
clarify, we rolled a 2, so the token we gain is a 2, right?
You'll gain. No, it's just like that's how many d4s you'll bank essentially.
Gotcha.
So if you roll it, you will take a -1 because you can roll a 0 on that, and that will, if that happens, we'll talk about that. It's not a special case, but it's fun role play. Yeah, so that's the number of tokens you get is the number of d4s you can grab to roll on the keep going action. So where do we think the camera goes next? Are we going to just fade out to the chicken run? I like the name Chicken Run because that movie I loved that movie when I was a kid.
Can you remember any character names from that movie? Because that'll be the names of the two chickens.
Oh,
I cannot.
Google.
Is Rodney one of them? Rodney is in my brain.
Now.
Rodney is one.
The chicken that gets no respect, Rodney.
Okay, give both of the hens male names. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Rodneyetta.
Rodney.
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 Go
ahead.
How about Rodney and Spike?
Rodney and Spike.
Okay.
Named for the conspicuously missing spike on these chicken's legs.
We have Rocky. We have Ginger. Babs. Oh, I like Babs.
Oh, Babs.
Bunty.
Bunty.
Babs and Ginger.
Oh, I remember Bunty.
Babs
Bunty
and
was
Ginger.
like the.
All right.
It's coming back to me now.
Okay. So I think
I like Babs.
we can play out the chicken run together. You all can like sort of narrate how it goes. We could make this another night mechanically if you'd like, and then it's another sort of social situation where everybody's back together and seeing like how you all navigate that, so that you can take some more actions if you want. If you want to just like play it out, that's also fine. How would you like to proceed?
I mean, in the sense of the narrative, it would be a few hours later. And I don't necessarily mind like making each night like a chunk of hours because like the oil rig is not going to stay for days. It's going to sink eventually, like within a matter of hours.
We have maybe 72 hours.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
That's a good point. Yes.
So yeah, for sure. So we'll count this as a new round. Start thinking about like the actions you want to take. We don't have to keep the same order as last time, but if you want to, we can do that. I feel like this Marky Mark did sort of arrange the chicken run, or came up with the idea. So maybe Marky Mark can take the first action if everybody's okay with that.
Oh yeah.
All right, so I can either daydream, speak to another character, withdraw, or keep going. So when you keep going, you call on your connections with others to attempt a significant move towards happiness. Choosing this action allows you to expend any number of your tokens, rolling that many d4s. Your highest number rolled determines what happens next. Okay, I think this is. I mean, this took a lot of chutzpah from Marky to do this. You know, he's really putting his reputation on the line with this chicken race. So I think he's going to try to keep going. He's going to try to like, you know, be the ringleader of this.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, my biggest fear is that if I roll poorly, then there's some kind of like supervisor or manager that's going to be like, what the hell are you guys doing with the chickens? And I get in some kind of big trouble. So I rolled a 2, so I have 2 d4s. So I'll roll 2 d4s.
You rolled a 2, so that means you would have 1 token.
Okay.
All right, because you roll 1d4 minus 1 to determine how many tokens you receive.
Gotcha. All right. So with 1 token.
Yeah. So
I'll
this
roll
is
a
like
D4.
this. I think the 1 token represents the risk here, because like.
Oh, sure.
Marky Mark was really putting himself out here, right? And so there's a lot on the line that can go well and a lot can go wrong. And 1d4 is sort of like, that's the only chance you get.
I rolled a 1.
You rolled a 1.
Oh my god.
So,
Oh shit.
so let me ask you, did you roll to see what your isolation die started at? Or did you roll? Did you
I
stay at
chose
2?
it just to be at 2.
Okay.
Has
So-
everyone else chosen 2? We should all choose what
We should
our
probably-
isolation die starts at.
Yeah, you should let me know what they start at. If you just wanted 2 is sort of the default, or you can choose which number. Or sorry,
Oh,
you can choose for it to be 2, or you can roll it. Sorry.
2.
2.
I
Yeah, you can start
picked
it-
2.
I'll
yeah.
take the 2.
Okay, cool.
Knowing my luck, yeah.
So you rolled a 1, did you say, Serge?
I rolled a 1.
You rolled a 1. So we will reference the table, and that means your isolation die will tick down by 2, which means you are at a 0. And we can narrate that out after this, but that means you've lost your access to the reach out to another character action until you can get that number
Oh.
up,
Oh,
or you can get that number up to a 1 or like a non-zero positive number, or somebody else reaches out to you, and that's when you'll get that action back.
Gotcha.
So right now you can only daydream, withdraw, and you can't keep going because you don't have any tokens left, right?
So yeah. So
that'll be for the following night.
Gotcha.
Describe how this goes. Yeah.
I just think it goes as poorly as possible. Like, I've been watching Eastbound and Down recently, and like when things happen poorly in that, it's just so hilariously bad. So I'm imagining, like, it's just like slow motion, me like just in the center of attention, and we start the chicken race, and we still need these chickens to eat. I'm worried one goes over the side of the oil rig. And the supervisor or the head honcho of the oil rig sees this and just screams at me and just berates me in front of everybody, and I'm immediately literally my concern of like people hurting my feelings is happening right now.
Right.
I think the next worst thing is after he's done berating me, I turn around and I've peed my pants, and it's just like really as embarrassing as it can be for old Marky Mark.
Yeah, sort of worst case scenario.
Are you telling me that one of the chickens literally ran off of the edge of the oil rig?
Yes, it
slipped off.
Spooked. Everyone was making too much noise, and one of them just flew off the side and is now like floating in the water.
Yeah.
They could probably get fished out, but it would be hard.
gonna say, we'll get there eventually.
Yeah.
We're not going that fast.
I might even think that they might even throw me in the brig or something. It's just.
You can tell me how you want that to play out.
I think I'm probably told to at least go to my quarters until what's it called? Until the pickups arrive.
Yep, that makes sense for that role. Hell yeah.
Sergio, which of the two chickens went overboard?
Oh, I think it was Ginger. Babs is still with us.
Babs is still with us.
Okay.
Thank God.
And I screamed,
Ginger.
So I think what I'm doing. I think what I'm doing is I'm just like on the sidelines watching the chickens race, and I'm like, "Go Ginger, go Ginger, go Ginger! I have all my money riding on you." Oh no, I've lost everything
again.
Why does this always happen to me?
Because you keep
know.
doing the same thing. We're right by you, mother.
Excellent.
Back in 2018,
Oh, okay.
I was betting on the ponies in Atlanta, Georgia, and something similar happened. I had a cool mill resting on a horse named Downtown Pony. And he ran into the stands and murdered half a dozen people.
Hold on. Sonny, have you ever thought that maybe stop gambling?
I thought about that once. I went to two back in 2016.
Oh, okay.
This would have been in the spring of 2016. I went to exactly 2 meetings of Gamblers Anonymous.
Oh. Which
But that ended in tragedy when I got into a match of knucklebones in the bathroom closet with a methed out hobo. There was a Narcotics Anonymous meeting going on in the next room.
And what's the end of that story?
The end of that story is I wound up spending 2 wild months sleeping on the streets in Portland, Oregon.
You're getting some fans in the chat. I love it.
I gotta say, Sonny, I'm gonna be on. You know what, Sonny? I got nothing to say. I can't. No, that's. I think this is a good night to call it quits. Yeah. Good luck with it.
That said, I did just lose all of my money. Could I borrow $5, please?
Here, come with. I'll be like pulling it out and be like, will you try to at least relax with it? With the gambling?
I'll try to make it.
I bet you to not gamble, and I will give you $1,000.
Oh, you son of a bitch. You have a deal.
There you go, darling. Bye.
Oh, how many thumbs? So.
Yeah, but you got other things. By the way, you don't. Okay.
I'll trot off with the $5 bill in my teeth.
I have a feeling that would have happened if your character had thumbs anyway. So
I think so too.
What action was that? You tell me.
I think I started out. I was gonna start it out as like a daydream, but I think I wound up trying to make a connection with Amanda's character.
Yeah, I think that was like a reach out to another character almost. Or did Amanda do that to you?
I was just reacting off of like we would be right there.
Yeah.
And then he kept going. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you want to give me that D4 roll, I think that's positive. That's like a friendship thing.
Because if it was a daydream, it would have not been positive because I lost all my money. But now that it's a social interaction,
You can.
okay. So I roll a
Remember,
D4, right?
you can never
Yes.
gamble again to win the $1,000.
I rolled a 1.
Damn.
You gain 0 tokens. And tell me why that is. You had a positive interaction, but the tokens sort of obviously represent a resource.
Yeah.
An internal resource. I don't want to tell you what that is for your character, but how does that play out in Sunny's head?
So let me tell you what happens. I'm returning to my quarters with the $5 bill still happily tucked between my teeth. And I'm going to the vending machine to get myself a nighty-night soda. And then right as I'm about to approach the vending machine, I sneeze. And the next thing I know, the $5 bill is lodged in my windpipe. Several chaotic minutes ensue, and I'm giving myself the Heimlich maneuver on a steel chair that was left out in the hallway.
Easy to do if you have thumbs. That's what easy to do.
Going. Keep going. Continue.
Yeah, and then I lean into the chair, and then I do the Heimlich maneuver so well, because this is not the first time that this has happened, that I spew vomit just all over the hallway, and then I gotta like spend a while like cleaning it up, only to discover that by the time I'm done cleaning up the mess, that the $5 bill has dissolved in my stomach acid, and once again, I am faced with the reality of having lost everything.
That is a 1. That is a 1.
That's a 1 if I ever heard it.
I'm so curious about your stomach acid because that.
Well, you see, there's a story behind that too. We'll
Oh.
save that for another time.
Honestly, yeah, that's a 1. That's how that goes. It gave you superpowers. It gave you stomach acid. It was the 1 was a catalyst. All right. Whoever's not gone yet can tell me what they want to do. 'Cause I would just love y'all to go ahead and do more
Go for
chaos.
it, Eli. Go for it, Eli.
I think because Jones gave Henry some form of attention that they didn't want, they're gonna withdraw this round, and while this whole chaos is gonna go, they're like in some rafter somewhere, just like lounge with like just like paper cranes just scattered about, and they're just sighing discontently while chaos is just going on below them.
Your character has spent more time laying down than standing up, and that's very funny to me.
Yeah. This is my aesthetic.
Yeah, it's just like if they ever do character art, it's just like everyone's standing and then you're just like on the ground laying there. All right, cool. So
I just want lo-fi art.
Yeah, lo-fi art. Just chill beats to brood and make paper cranes too.
Chill beats to sink in.
To sink into the Atlantic with.
Yeah. So your isolation die will take down by 1, and I think we have Amanda's character left, right?
Yeah. It's gonna be kind of short because I said I was going to my room.
Right.
And I am, but I'm going to stop over in the laundry area, steal someone else's like trousers because homeboy pissed his pants, and I'm gonna go ahead, knock on. I won't say who. Be like, I'll just be like, hey, you don't have to come out, but there's some pants for you.
Oh.
It really sucked. It didn't. I'm sorry about Ginger.
Jones, is that you?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's me.
Oh, you said you have pants for me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fresh,
thanks.
clean ones. Clean ones.
Oh,
clean,
thanks.
clean.
Yeah, I hate when the water just kind of sprays up and splashes on your pants like that, you know?
Right?
So that's totally what
Yeah.
happened. So
Absolutely, because I saw
Yeah.
that spray.
yeah, I don't know. My crotch region is just like a magnet for that. I don't know, but here you go. Yeah, thank you,
Oh,
thank you so
yeah.
much.
Sucks.
Gotta be honest, I didn't think anyone was gonna come check on me. I really appreciate it.
It's just like you were just trying to boost morale. All right, shit sucks, and what like Mr. Dickhead is just taking things way too effing far. Okay, you're dying, bitch. The rest of us too.
I mean,
Like-
when I got hired on this thing and I saw that his name was Mr. Dickhead, I was like, "There's no way he's gonna actually be a fucking dickhead." But yeah, he's such an ass.
See, this is why karma exists, because there's no fucking way someone named Dickhead would actually be a dickhead. Just saying.
But just be honest with me, like
What?
Henry, Sonny, they think I'm an ass, huh? They just must think I'm such a dummy, huh?
No, I mean, I'm not in their head, but I don't get that from.
You
Like,
didn't get that
yeah.
vibe?
No, I didn't get that from them.
Did-
But I
Did you get the vibe that like I'm coming out cooler because of tonight, or?
Oh no, you took a real big hit.
Oh,
See, look, they gotta understand. Like, I'm trying not to be a nice person, being a kind person, because I feel
no,
like nice
I
and
appreciate
kind,
the
right?
brutal, heart wrenching honesty. Yeah,
It sucked. But
Yeah.
you know, think of it this way: we're going
imagine
to
how
die.
I felt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you are going to die. So who gives a fuck about tonight?
But we're gonna be rescued. What do you mean I'm gonna die? Is
Well,
someone gonna
that's
leave
the
me in
worst
here?
case scenario. Look, that's the worst case scenario, right? Because if you die, then it's not a problem. But if we're rescued, you don't have to be on this thing anymore and just transfer, and no one will know the story.
Well, do you think that if we do die, will you die with me? Like, you want to die together
Oh.
I'm
as like best friends?
I'm really touched by that because I was like, that's so kind. You know what?
You know, like Jack and Rose,
wanna-
but just without the
Sure.
whole, nude drawing sketch thing.
Yeah, no,
Unless you want me
I-
to do that, I'll draw you. I'm not a very good drawer. I'll draw your
Good.
name.
my.
I mean,
Just want to put it
This
out.
whole-
let's talk. If you have to kill, well, that's up for negotiation. But we can just spit, hands, shake on it.
I promise I'll kill you first, and I'll shake your hand.
Wait a minute.
Is that not what you asked? I'm sorry, I misunderstood. I thought you said you wanted me
I
to
just
kill
realized.
you
But how are we gonna do it? Are we
before.
like gonna like try to choke each other? But that's not gonna work. But are we gonna try to like just jump and swim it?
I don't think
chance
I
it?
can choke you. Your neck is a lot bigger than my hands, but
But like,
yeah, I can hold you under the water. Whatever, it's a very peaceful death. Apparently, the whole drowning thing.
thank you for the consideration. I'm gonna think about that a little bit.
All right.
So, but the thing still stands.
well,
If
just,
maybe.
thank you.
yeah.
Well, just put a good word for me and for Mr. Dickhead. Maybe I can get out of here, before the rescue
think of it
ships start
this way.
coming.
One way or another, it's either gonna work or it's just not our problem anymore. There
Wow,
we
you're
go.
very stoic about this. Okay, I'm
Oh,
impressed.
I am high as fuck. Okay, I have been so high since this news came out. I have been dealing with existential crisis, and that's when that epiphany came to me, and I realized, especially meditating with all that, it's either going to be fixed or it's just not going to be a problem.
All right, thanks for the very uplifting talk. Thanks, Jones.
Happy to help. I'm like, oh, we got to talk and connect, and then that was weird, but they are not of mine. So I
They're
was like,
kind of
yeah.
isn't this the situation where they're kind of giving me a die or something?
So
Yeah.
this
Yeah,
is
that-
sort of, I think this is like net positive. We'll call it a net positive.
I mean, finding
And-
somebody to die with is definitely a net positive.
If anything, I would be like, if I got anything, I could just like pass it on to him. That'd be
Right. So what
fine.
this gives Serge's character Marky Mark the ability to use the reach out to another character action again because you reached out to him.
Nice.
And Amanda, why don't you roll 1d4 minus 1 for me?
Okay.
And
Oh no, I got a 1.
you got a 1 on the die, so you got a 0. What is going through Jones's mind after this interaction? Like clearly it was a positive one, but why do you not feel, encouraged by it?
Because Jonesy will, like, back in their room is even though they're putting on that front, it's still like the shake. Maybe we'll have like the room shake a little bit, the powers flicker,
Yeah.
and you can hear like the metal
yeah.
kind of like that, and you can see them like just taking that sound like they're trying to meditate, but the sound's so loud that you can have them
Like,
just
it's
start
easy
have
to
it.
philosophize about it, but when you're like actually facing death, it's pretty
Yeah,
fucking
they're,
terrible.
they're
Yeah,
literally
true.
having a shaking, almost panic attack kind of vibe. So it's like they're trying to do exactly.
Yeah, that's so good. No, that makes so much sense. I love that. I think that sort of wraps up or has everyone gone?
I
Sorry.
think everyone's gone for the night.
Yeah.
Yeah. 'cause
Eli, did you go?
Yeah, I withdrew.
That's true.
Oh,
yeah.
right.
The last time I ran this, I kept skipping one player and I kept forgetting them, and I'm like so paranoid about doing that again. I think that the night wraps up. Let's say everybody sleeps, or at least attempts to sleep. I imagine it's a little bit difficult. When would you all like to be in the same place again? Your breakfast, or is there something someone wants to do in the middle of the night? How do you all want to go about this?
Ooh.
I'm really liking the idea of this all kind of happening in the same night, kind of a vibe.
Okay.
So like we're
Yeah.
we're getting to the witching hour, 3, 4 in the morning.
We're tuning the violins because
Yeah.
the sinking's happening.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe it's like it's getting slightly a little bit worse, and the power is only in the mess. That's why, or at least for us.
Maybe there's like one of the rooms. Maybe there's like I don't know how oil rigs work, so don't at me. I don't know who
Water
would at
in
me
the
about this.
staircase.
But there'd be water in like one of the lower levels. I think that's
Yeah.
probably, and that's sort of like we're like sort of invoking this sinking tag. That makes a lot of sense, and then also obviously affects power situation and all that stuff. So it's sort of like an immediate hit to morale where there's water in places where there was not water before.
I think Henry would definitely be down there. I like to think that Henry's like a mechanic or something like that, just trying to like solve problems, and then comes and stumbles on this like stairwell that's like taking on water, and low key panicking. I think I'm gonna daydream here though, since I'm just like kind of like stuck in place, and I think I'm just gonna try to remember about like a better time where like going to the beach or going to the water was like a fun experience, like about to jump off like a cliffside for the first time, and that like rush before you like jump into the water. And I'm just kind of trying to do that to like ease and calm as I'm like fidgeting in place as I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I think that's all.
Cool. Is there any like specific memory that your character has that like represent, like the memory that's emblematic of these like beach days or whatever? Like
I think it's like probably the first time they like climbed up like this rock face and stood over the precipice and like jumped down.
Nice.
But this is like not one of the but like in this kind of situation you wouldn't want to be doing that. But it was like you felt effortless and free, and it was like a moment like straddled in time. It's nice.
Hell yeah, I love that. So you'll gain 1 token from that.
Yeah.
What is everybody else doing? This sort of are you waking up? Did you just not go to sleep? Something like this is sort of like, witching hour time. It's that like bleary-eyed moment of that where you're like, I'm still awake and I hate that, but I can't go to sleep.
I think I kind of have to daydream too, because I spoke to a character in my first round. The second round, I tried to keep going, failed miserably. I think I need to try to daydream, and I'm probably just daydreaming now, like I tend to once I make a new friend. I just obsess over them. So I'm thinking about me and Jones's life after this oil rig, and how much we're just gonna have the best time once we get landside.
Yep. What's the first thing Marky Mark is gonna like ask his friend Jones to do when they get saved?
We're gonna go. If we're in the Atlantic, we're probably not too far from Florida, and I'll probably take them on a banana boat ride if they've never been on a banana boat. That's pretty great. We're both like in a rubber thing that just like bounces up and down on the water. It's really quite stupid. But,
just the worst possible.
I just think that's what my friends want to do with me, is go on banana boats.
For sure. I love that. So you'll gain that token.
Nice.
Who else? Who wants to go next?
Well, I think that I also will have to take the opportunity to daydream. And really losing that $5 bill. It reminded me of this time back in 1998.
Good year.
It was a hot summer in Chicago, Illinois. I was there taking a series of improv courses when I briefly considered changing courses from being a professional gambler. But likewise, it also ended in tragedy as I began betting on the outcome of the improv groups. And my predictions were very off. And I lost everything on I lost everything on a Second City performance to Stephen Colbert.
That's a unique gamble.
That son of a bitch took all of my money. That's why he's living in that nice house in New York now. And I'm stuck on this oil rig.
Yeah, that's exactly the reason.
I love that this daydream included losing money to Stephen Colbert. That's excellent. That's great. Excellent. So you'll gain a token from that. That
was easy.
That was easy.
This feels like the part of the musical where everyone's like singing to themselves and daydreaming.
Yeah, and then there's just that one refrain that everybody's like sort of
right,
singing
right.
off. They're
Nope.
taking turns
Will
with
we
it.
get off this rig?
No.
So how many words rhyme with rig? I guess we're gonna use all of them.
We'll find out.
Dig, wig,
Do a jig, yeah.
prig.
Trig.
Rig.
Also, going back to Mr. Dickhead, I like to think that it's actually pronounced like Mr. Dickhead, but everyone just calls him Mr. Dickhead. And he
Perfect.
just says he can't fight it anymore because there's just no point. No one's gonna
Right.
say it right.
So we just call it to his face.
Yeah, he can't do anything about it. It's one of those things where everybody started doing it, and it's just like you can't fight the tide. Jones, what's Jones up to?
Because now I'm down. Oh, well, I can't withdraw because then I'm going back to because I'm already at 0. So it's
I mean-
either withdraw.
Well,
'cause,
you're at 0 tokens, right?
yeah,
But
because
your isolation die is still at 2. Is that
oh,
1
2.
now?
You're right.
Right.
Yeah,
Oh,
the isolation die is what determines that.
That's what keys off of withdraw.
Okay. Oh, okay. Fair. I would say. Ooh. They're daydreaming. I'm
Mhm.
just gonna steal everyone else's
Go
idea.
for it. It's just like the
Go for it.
dream. This is the dream song. The dream
It's
sequence.
that part of the
The
musical.
That
Yes.
part of the
Okay.
that part of the musical.
I am going to because that all that noise and I'm calming down and I've finally been able to like kind of meditate. So kind of breathing, seeing if I can remember my past life or just trying to really kind of remember that philosophical stuff to be like, okay, even if so, there might be the other life. And then it's like, oh, I wonder what it's like. Wonder how many lives I know him from somewhere. And it's like your brain overthinks instead of meditating.
Yep. It's the opposite of meditation when you're
Exactly.
trying really hard. Yep.
That's what they're doing.
Did we just create X on the musical?
Yes. Yes,
God,
we
no,
did.
I don't want that on my conscience.
Yes, we did.
We better get all their money. They have to give us all the money now.
Dude.
We're
Woo!
sorry.
Hey, Aaron, you want that studio?
All right.
I think everyone's gone now, right?
Yeah, everyone's gone.
Indeed.
I think the rest of the night will pass. Yeah, go ahead and you take that token. So now everybody has a little bit more resources.
Yeah.
What's everybody doing with the morning? So we're gonna move to that next chunk of time. Did anybody go to try to get some sleep? Did anybody just stay up and daydream and then walk up to the mess hall, sleep deprived?
Oh yeah,
We're
Sunny's
going-
sleep deprived for sure.
Yeah, I think we're all kind of
Shuffling
sleep deprived at this
Shuffling
point because like
in.
if there's parts of this oil rig that have water in it, like we're basically at the water level. I honestly feel like Mark though he is a people pleaser, he's not an idiot. And a part of him's like, I don't know if help is coming. I think I need to convince people to like build a raft or something. Like we need to survive. We can't just wait for these boats to come. I don't know. I kind of want to do another keep going, like another attempt to like rally everyone together.
Yeah.
To do this. I only have 1d4, so hopefully I don't roll a 1. Because I am still at 0 technically at my isolation die, huh?
Right, you're still at 0, but you have gained access back to that other
right.
action.
Here we go. Hopefully, I roll a 2.
A 2. So
And there's no -1 or anything, so it's a 2. So it's
right. So this is the 2 is your isolation die is going to take down by 1, but it's a 0. So you really have nothing to lose. I feel like, actually, you tell me how this plays out. Like you're trying to get people together to do something, actually, but what happens?
Yeah, and because you've described a 2 as a partial failure, so like I don't necessarily get what I want. I think maybe Mark like brings it to attention, like he's like, hey guys, have we considered this? And like, you know, Mr. Dickhead's like shooting it down, like don't worry, they'll come. But you know, I'm trying to rile people, and some people are like kind of starting to come to my side, but I don't think the decision has been made to do it. I haven't been able to convince anybody yet.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. Where like it's sort of that neutral failure, like it's okay. People, and in fact, that's almost the way I'm reading it. Almost a victory that in itself, that people were like listening to you at all. And like after the very embarrassing evening you had, and
look,
so
I'm not just Marky McPee Pants, okay? I have ideas.
Yeah, you didn't have to say that out loud.
I'm just acknowledging the big wet piss elephant in the room, okay?
Sonny, get him. He's embarrassing himself. Sonny, get him.
You know, Marky, all of this talk of rafts has me thinking about this stint I did in Tallahassee, Florida in 2002.
awful
when-
place.
Naturally, we didn't want to be there anymore, and of course, I was out of money, having spent it all at
Having lost it all.
several nights before. So what we did to leave is we robbed an oil refinery, and we took a bunch of the barrels, and we lashed them together with natural reeds that we found in the swamp, and used them to set sail to Dallas, Texas.
Sonny's got the right idea, though. We've got barrels on.
We could employ. Well, we got tons of barrels.
So many barrels.
The problem
We just
is
have to
don't
dump all
any
the oil
extra
out of it
frying.
and then use it to float.
I don't see any problem with. I mean, the oil came out of the ground; it's natural. I don't see why it wasn't dumped in the ocean.
Return from whence it came, yeah.
It's exactly how oil spills work.
Yeah, no.
Look,
Yeah,
guys,
no.
do you want to die, or do you want to be able to float away?
I'm gonna be like, I think it's just the three of us that kind of back you, because it makes sense. Because I don't think the barrel's a good idea, because that sounds dumb. But there's a lot of other things here. Life vest. I'm sure we can make a raft out of like the door Titanic, but we all get to stay on it.
The doors are made of steel. I really don't suggest we use those.
I imagine there's
Well,
a
then-
boat.
Who's
There
the
would be a
mechanic
boat.
here?
If there were boats, we would have left by now.
Henry,
Fix the boat.
Henry,
Huh.
you're a mechanic.
Yeah.
You can, what do you got?
Yeah, Henry, can you build us a boat real quick?
And I'm gonna get close to Henry too, like closer.
I'll take
I
a
think-
step back.
I think the issue is that you do. There are like lifeboats or whatever. So like if it sinks, you'll be stuck there. But if nobody comes and helps, you're still
True.
donezo, right? Like, and
Right.
or maybe there's not enough of these boats to get everybody back to land. That
There's
sort
not
of
enough
thing.
lifeboats.
It's not enough lifeboats.
Yeah, maybe
But
not.
there's probably enough, but it's probably not like speedboats that can get you back to land. You know, it's probably just like things that float in case this happens. So it's not a way out. It's just like it'll solve your problem for a little bit, but
Right.
not forever.
No.
Yeah, everybody's crowding around Henry.
I'm like looking
Henry.
everywhere.
All
All
we need
around.
is
is the
4
part-
people. We just need
We
4
just-
This is
people
the
to
part
man
of the
a boat.
conversation where you regale us with some of your mechanical genius.
Henry's gonna run out of this crowd.
Well, that it seems like
Panic.
her mechanical
The
genius
pressure.
just dipped.
Maybe she had a really good idea.
I have to go.
Yeah, maybe. Well, I
She
went
must
with
be
keep
on her way to
going, so
execute.
Yep,
Yeah,
so
we
there's
sh- I-
yours. Would anyone like to either assign an action to a thing they've already done, or take an action, move the story in a way with your character? None of this has to be like your turn per se. Like, I love the free form roleplay, so go ahead. Anybody can go.
Can I just say I was doing the same thing that Sergio was trying to do?
Okay, yeah, for sure. So, how many you're taking the keep going action, so you can spend how many ever tokens you want, and you'll roll that many d4s, and take the highest roll on that.
Fantastic. So that would be 1d4, and I roll a 3.
A 3. So
It's progress.
your isolation die will tick up 1, and then I think that sort of represents how is Sunny rallying to how is Sunny getting people to listen to him? I feel like
Well,
that's
it's a story.
no way it's a story. No way it's another story.
I'm boring them into action with my long story so that they don't want to be here anymore and are therefore more motivated to build the raft.
Yep, that tracks. That tracks. How about Jones or Henry?
I think Henry this round would have probably taken a negative speak to another character since everybody was pressuring
Aw.
them to.
You can
to
you can
build
take
a
an
boat.
action on your own, like as you go off. Like maybe you go do a daydream or something too. That's an option. But if you think that's the way, like you can absolutely do that.
Yeah, because if not, then I'll just withdraw. And I don't want to
Mm.
withdraw, so I rather take an L.
All right, go for it. That's just like how many tokens you'll lose if you roll that 1d4 minus 1.
I rolled a 2 minus 1, so only 1 token loss.
So, how many did you have, or how many do you have now?
I had 2, and now I have 1.
Gotcha. I think once this sort of like panic subsides of the whole like very overwhelming social interaction, what is going through Henry's mind?
Henry's just panicking because now that like dying was not on the table yet, and the end of Nye was not on the table yet for them, but now that people are sowing this kind of descent into the last bit of people,
Mhm.
I think Henry is starting to feel that like no one is gonna come for us, and like we're just on a rig that's slowly sinking in the middle of the ocean,
Yep.
and these are the people I have to.
You wouldn't want to be with Mayday roleplay on a deserted island?
That's different.
Yeah, that makes sense. Jones, what's Jones up to?
Okay. Saw Henry run off, so they're getting mixed signals. Okay. And honestly, I would be like, we do have to try. We gotta like try to get like extra help. Maybe like, do we just do it without Dickhead? And I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
if
think so.
Dickhead wants to die, I'm not gonna stop Dickhead from dying.
He can go in his own boat, but I think we build a boat with maybe some paddles and we just do what we can.
Think of it as like insurance. I think yeah. I'm gonna like let's like try to see what and then go around and build these raft things with
Barrels.
these two.
These
Barrels.
two.
Duct tape some of it. I don't know. Do we put plastic bottles? Like
I
we'll
mean,
take.
If there's boats, we should just take those boats.
Well, I heard barrels. I thought
I
we
know.
were.
I was in a
building
panic, and that was
something.
my initial idea.
Okay.
I realized it's not good for the environment, even though it's going to sink into the water anyway. So
I think at this point,
Jones is like, oh God, what did I do? I can't believe this. But it's like not bad. It's just like, oh my God, we were like two dumbasses. We must have died together multiple times. I am hella convinced.
We always die together.
I think we are going to fulfill. Oh my God, we did a self-fulfilling prophecy. That's a mind blown.
What?
I'm going to get my stuff. I'll meet you back at these boats. Wow. I literally predicted my own death. Oh,
At least we'll die together.
die together. And as I walk away.
That ended more positively than I expected. Yeah. Hell yeah. That's a very fun, like, eureka moment. So go ahead and roll that and add those tokens to your pool.
And I had 2 tokens, so I roll 2.
Oh, so this is you keep going. Yeah. So
yeah.
roll, or you can roll 1 if you want, but you can roll 2 if you can roll any amount that you want.
I'm rolling the 2. Go big or go home.
What's the highest one?
A 3.
A 3. Okay. Your isolation die takes up 1. I think this does make sense. Like you're sort of like you're doing the galaxy brain where it's just like you're starting to see a lot of these connections in the universe, and yeah.
It's like I'm having like that moment where it's like so amazing, it's awesome, but it's like holy fuck, I need a minute.
Yeah.
Holy shit. They did
Yeah.
predict their own death, if that's the case. So that's why they're like, holy shit.
That's very cool. I think as you all sort of gather, you're like getting the ships ready. I think as soon as you're like, all right, it's ready to go, you hear this like excruciatingly loud groan of the rig, and the structure starts to move significantly, very fast. I think.
Oh dear.
Where would Henry would Henry come back around to try to help with the boat, or is Henry? Where's Henry at?
Henry would have gotten themselves together. Of like slowly come back,
Together,
like
Henrietta.
Yeah, so it's sort of this like big run. There's like clearly it's go time. There's the structure is going to sink completely into the water, and you just have mere moments for everybody to get on. I assume you've tried to get like Marky Mark probably has like some food that you've gathered from the mess hall. Maybe everybody grabs some food. You hear the commotion of all the other people on the rig rushing to get to those boats. Your boat is a little bit quite a bit more ready, and you've probably, I don't know how it will work with paddles or any sort of motor.
I stole a like a good Cuisinart, and I'm using that as like an engine to run underwater. But like as we're watching the rig sink, Mark he suddenly has this epiphany. He's like, I left Babs on the rig. Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no!
Shit!
She's chicken of the sea now.
She's big tuna.
Oh.
At least her and Ginger will be together in heaven now.
I thought you were going to say hell for a moment, but
all chickens go.
All chickens go to heaven. It's a well-established fact.
Or they're just kind of just like very basic spirits that will just go to
All
the
chickens
next level.
Stay in limbo.
they'll get to be people next.
Yeah. No.
You know,
They're
That's a
chickens.
punishment.
No, that's like you gotta go up to like cats, I think.
Oh, okay.
I would
wait,
like
you're-
there to be like maybe 1 or 2 nights left because
Yeah.
I like the idea of like if I can't get my isolation die up, we agreed at the beginning 0 means death, so I might not make it.
Sure. Yeah, I think there's only a few rounds left until we decide does help come or not, and you all will just decide that together.
So we're just on a boat now.
Yeah.
We're on
You're
a
on
boat.
a boat, and it's going fast, and you've got a nautical themed Pashmina Afghan. I'm on a boat. Done in spoken word style. That's my cover. Yeah, so I think I don't know how dark I want to get. I think people got out, like they're prepared for this, or at least prepared. Like you've done
We
drills
can
before.
life apply it.
You can life apply. Everyone's gone.
We
It's
can
just
apply.
you. We can imply, right? Imply.
The
We'll imply.
only boat that didn't make it
Imply.
is the one that put the tiger on it. They all got eaten.
They all got eaten.
You know, all of this talk about boats reminds me of a really interesting story. The year was 3000 BC. I was in Mesopotamia, betting on the tiger races. And what did you know when I came along with this guy named Noah? And naturally, I just lost everything
So
because
question
I
was-
bet on the wrong tiger. Yeah.
Wait. So 3000 BC, is that the name of the hotel or the casino? Because
Sure,
you see,
kid.
okay, just
Sonny,
saying.
are you
Anyway,
saying you're an immortal
Long
being?
story short, I wound up having the wildest bender
I'm
of
gonna
my
nudge.
life.
I got him to wrap up.
That's
No,
it. Best
That's
booze
how you-
cruise I've
that's
ever
how you
been
make
on.
Noah's Ark is the best booze cruise.
That's how you make it.
30 days and 30 nights of just pure drinking.
I mean, the cook from the Titanic was drunk. That's how he survived.
Is that
I
that
did
for
not
real?
know that.
Yeah, but, for some reason, like he didn't go into shock or something. Yeah, but he was blitz drunk.
Interesting.
And I'm like, that's so fucking brilliant.
You might as well.
Is it?
If you're gonna die, you might as well. And then if you're like,
It's alcohol
So-
poisoning. Whatever.
yeah. And then if you make it, and you don't have to remember the hard part.
Exactly.
You won't remember.
So for this scene, here's what I'm thinking. I'm at 0 isolation die. I have to try to raise that. And it seems like the only real way to raise that is to either speak to a character or to gain a token through daydreaming. So
Right.
I'm going to speak to another character. And who would I speak to try to gain some positive? I think I would probably try to relate with Sunny, like, Sunny, we both had the idea to get into the boats first. You know, great minds think alike, right?
Yeah, kid. Say, you got thumbs.
Yeah. I'm surprised you haven't noticed yet. I got thumbs just like Henry. I use them to cut the onions and stuff.
That's really impressive, kid. Have you ever thought about putting those thumbs to good use?
How could I put them to good use?
There it
Is
is.
there
Could
is
you
there a
scratch
hole in the
this
ship?
spot
that I-
on my shoulder? I can't reach. I don't have it. I don't have thumbs of my own to get them.
Can I
Oh,
use my
no,
other
I'm gonna-
fingers too? I don't need just my thumb, right?
Yeah, I mostly want the thumb though. I want to know what the thumb feels like against my skin. It's been so long.
It
That's
has to
nice.
be a
Thank
thumb.
you.
As long as this makes you like
That's
me
good.
more, I'm all
Yeah,
for it.
that's some good thumb.
That's
Oh,
some
this is-
good-
I feel like we just discovered a new category of some kind of kink that I'm not aware of, and I need to process this.
New achievement unlocked.
Give you a thumbing.
Patreon.com/Mayday roleplay for more thumb
If you want more
content.
thumb-related
More
content,
thumb content.
Zach's
be a
gonna
new
draw our
thumb.
thumbs.
Thumb tier.
Another thumb. There's gonna be a thumb tier.
We should do that where Zach draws our thumbs and then the patrons have to guess whose thumb that it belongs to.
Ooh. Y'all want thumb pics?
No, we're really reaching.
Oh God.
Yeah, I think like even though for no reason at all, Marky is like quickly losing life, like he's quickly just dying faster than everyone else. He's trying to just like his last moments. He just wants Sunny to say that he likes him.
Yeah, that's heavy.
Oh, and that requires me to roll a d4. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean for the dramatic pause. I just
No.
forgot what
That's
happened.
right.
was in it.
We went from thumbs to this thing really fast, and I love that for us.
I rolled a d4 -1. I rolled a 1, so I gained 0 tokens.
This Marky Mark is just having the roughest go of
These
it.
rolls.
Oh my gosh.
As long as I die with people liking me, don't ever forget me.
And I think it's also cool though. Like, clearly, Marky Mark is having a rough go of it, like in the like internal thing, but like something in him clearly is like continuing to try because like you
Right.
as the player are continuing to try,
Right.
and there's just something really you're like, well, the only thing I can do to like move forward is this thing. Like I don't have any other choices, and I just have to try this. and I just think that's really cool. So, what else? Who else? Anybody have ideas? You're on the boat. I guess you have a paddles, and some food.
I assume this is a very small boat, so I have to watch.
It's not that big.
I have to watch this summoning happen. And I just look at it for a second, just like, like, oh, good luck.
Yes.
Awkwardly, like,
And then-
She said the
into a
thing.
corner
She said the
while-
thing.
And then I'll just go like around to like the other side of the boat with Jones and like help them like paddle the boat to try to ignore what I'm watching.
You paddling too to avoid that shit?
I mean, that's all we can do at this point.
That's what I'm just. It's a. I mean, but it's like, did we get a compass? By the way,
I think you're generally people are seaworthy.
We don't need.
Well, no, 'cause
We're
I'm
going.
like,
we don't need no compass.
because I'm like,
To-
well, it's probably
to
an
hell.
oil rig. The water's probably choppy. It's not like we're going anywhere. We might as well just paddle just to distract ourselves from the thumbing.
I learned in boot camp you just have to raise your thumb up to the sky and you can measure the. Oh, sorry, Sonny, I didn't mean to.
Ah, that was uncalled
I-
for.
It's just something I learned when I was younger.
And now we've gotten into thumb-related humor.
I,
We're gonna die here, aren't we, Jones?
well,
Jones has a great
I guess
perspective on it, right, Jones?
we're just all thumbing around. I'm
a
sorry.
thing people say.
It's set up, and you can't like. If we are gonna go, I'd just rather we at least die laughing.
Wait, did you guys hear that? I thought I heard a thumb.
Oh.
I look at Jones. If you don't kill him, I will.
Marky Mark, you know what my favorite fairy is? Thumbelina.
Nice, nice.
I'm gonna just go off the boat myself. These puns.
Oh gosh, you know what holiday I miss having with my family?
Tell us.
Thumbsgiving.
That is a reach. All right, we're done. We're done.
Ooh.
Parts of my soul.
You're all haters. That was good.
Pray further away from the Lord's light every day.
The turn was so good though, because we were like, oh, this is when we're gonna this is gonna be a serious thing. I know, just
Yeah.
fully.
Yeah.
That was such a good joke.
Amanda, you got to be honest. That joke was thumb.
Oh my god.
So do we got any emergency supplies or anything?
We sure do.
Yeah.
Like, do we got a flare gun?
Yes.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. I'll kind of like I'll kind of slide the flare gun out. Who wants
Hold
to
on.
make things interesting? The game is Russian roulette.
All right.
With a flare gun?
Flare gun? Different probabilities there.
I think what is that called? What is that called? Oh, I'm sorry. Is that insulting, Sonny? That's too far. I'm sorry.
Why you gotta be snapping in my face?
I was trying to get
What
to a
am I,
point.
some kind of jerk?
Wow.
Do you want me to answer that?
No,
answer
not
that.
particularly.
Small boat.
You're not a dickhead. Dickhead, but
Well,
you're
that was the name of the big man.
you're great.
All
You're
right.
good. You're good. You're getting better because I haven't seen you gambled until this very second. But
I'll bet the day's rations to whoever puts the flare gun to their head and lives.
Do we even have rations like that?
I'll go first.
Should we tell him there's only one chamber in that thing?
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? No, let him figure it out.
But
It'll
if
take a minute.
if he pulls the
No,
trigger,
that's
there'll
fine.
be this very bright hot flare in the middle
Yeah,
of
it's
the boat.
not gonna kill him. It's just gonna
It's gonna kill us.
kill all of us.
Not if we just turn it back on him.
You're very
All right.
optimistic
Can you
about
not
this.
play
Very
with the
optimistic.
flare gun?
So what you don't like those odds? Do we gotta sweeten the pot a little?
No, we just know the actual odds. It's not good. It's not good.
This is
You'll definitely lose everything on this run.
No, I feel my lucky break's right around the corner.
No.
This is
That's
the
ju-
one. I can feel it.
It's-
Just one thing though.
What?
I am gonna need one of yous to pull the trigger for me.
Use your toes.
Well,
you ever
see, funny story about my big toes. You see,
Oh,
back
no.
in the winter of
Toes.
2016,
Wait, do you
I
have
was-
toes or are they gone too?
I had a layover in Salt Lake City, Utah, in which I was, sports betting is illegal there, but I thought I'd go try my hands at the Olympic proving grounds, up there in Park City, and I was betting on the ski jumpers. Anyway, long story short, I lost everything. The next thing I know, a gang of wandering LDS ruffians was breaking my toes
what did
because
you
I
just
got
say?
into them with too
What
deep.
did you say a gay? What?
A gang of Mormons. LDS.
No. I'd be like,
They're
no, I'm
very
gonna try to
weird.
make him. I'm gonna make him
Oh,
uncomfortable
this-
because I just want him to
They're
stop
very-
I was like,
talking.
I was like, this is a
No.
lot.
I was doing. I'm sorry, in character. I was too in character. I'd be like, what? Why would you say that? That's so mean. Da 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 da. Maybe you should be quiet. Thank you.
Long story short, I can't
No.
pull the trigger with my toes.
I think, Aaron, I think you should like roll to speak to a character. If you roll poorly, like one of us agrees to pull the trigger
Okay,
for
let's
you.
do that. I think at this point I'm mostly talking to Amanda's character.
Roll.
I rolled a 1.
Oh, nice.
Just
I think
gaining
one of
no
us would gladly pull the trigger for you.
no tokens.
And this
no
was
gain.
this was a speak to another character, so you get 0 tokens, and you can
Yep.
definitely play it how you like.
Well, I think that's entirely up to Amanda at this point.
No, let's go for it. I want to
Alright.
see
You gonna,
how
are you gonna
this plays out.
execute Sunny? Is that what we're saying right now?
I'd be like, I'm debating, honestly.
Oh, I
Just make it
like
pass,
my
yeah.
odds.
You like the
just
odds?
throw 'em
Okay. Okay. Huh. I'm gonna take the flare gun.
There's an extra share of rations in it for you. Come on, what are you waiting for?
I'll put it to
What
his
are you,
head,
some kind
Calling
of
for
jerk?
help was never out of line.
and then I'm gonna pistol whip him across the face and say, "Shut the fuck up! It's only been like a couple of hours. Lose your shit 2 days from now. Not within 10 hours."
And I think I pass out.
Ah! Woo!
It's quiet
There.
for the first time in 10 hours.
In the
I was not gonna shoot him. Jesus. What year is it? It's 2022.
I just don't know you very well, Jones. So like that could have definitely been on the table. I'm
You know
just
what?
saying.
That kind of hurts that you would think I would just do that, but
It's just a casual observation from someone who casually observes.
I mean, you have the right to your opinion. I don't really. Yeah. Okay.
Anyways,
Yeah.
I always liked hearing his stories, but
Hmm. Mm-mm. Oh, question. Was it? You know that band? That rock group,
oh, no.
Thumbs and
Yeah.
Roses.
Yeah.
Do you know? I had to.
I'm
I
glad
thought of
we're
it afterwards.
I'm
yeah.
glad
I'd like-
we're dying together because you at least have a sense
I'm
of humor.
trying to do levity, okay? We just had Mr. Dumbass ask me to shoot him with a flare gun. What the fuck was that gonna do except give him a sunburn?
It's quite and
And then he's got a lawsuit on me. No.
what's it called? Quite zen-like of you. You're handling it very well.
No, I think we could all admit I've lost it. I've come what
I don't have this
may.
pen for it
It's but it's not. I haven't crossed over yet. But it's like it's like, am I going to or am I not? That kind of annoys me. But not like you don't have to like drown me. Like we're cool with that. Like what will happen will happen. Yeah.
Yeah, by the looks of it, I think I'll be going first, Jones.
Henry's gonna withdraw and make more paper cranes. 'Cause
Aw.
This is too much.
It's too much.
Where
I'll
is
go
my
by
paper?
Marky. Marky, are you lying down, right?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, I'll just kind of be like sitting by and be like,
Which is all
Uh,
laying at the
What
bottom
move
of
are
the
you
Oh,
making
yeah.
then? What move are you making?
no,
Amanda?
it's just that it's like a comfort. I think that's like, what is
Just
that
to
like?
reach out to another character. That
That's
sort
a
of
reach out,
and-
just-
yeah.
But we're not going to have a huge scene. It's just me kind of just being like
Yeah.
there.
Eli, what's your isolation die at right now? Take a
it's
withdraw
at,
action again.
It's 0.
0.
I
Yeah.
just hit 0.
It feels bad to be in this situation. That is,
Yep.
There's no way around it.
Dire straits. I'm
Dire.
just
Okay,
quietly in a
so
corner.
whoever, a couple of people have selected like official actions. Who's left that would like to flavor their, or you can do another thing.
I think everyone has gone this round, or
Right?
this
Is that
night.
right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay. I think. Who all has tokens left?
I have 1 token.
I don't have a token.
I actually have 3 tokens.
Ooh, okay. So, I think we're reaching a point in the story where we have to decide where it ends, right? That's how it feels. Because either we can't just keep doing scenes in the boat. I mean, we could, I guess. I'm not going to tell you. But generally speaking, like either help comes or it does not come. So this last round, everybody, you don't have to do an official action, but if you have tokens left, you can take the keep going and just expend all your tokens to see what happens. You can attempt to do anything else you would like, but this is sort of like last call. How
Yeah.
are we? And then once last call is done, I think we'll have a better sense of, do we want help? Do we think help comes or not?
Oh, okay.
So I think to start, Mark, again, even though it's only been a few hours, he's like withered and looks like it's been days.
Oh,
His shirt's open. He's got a full beard. And I think he probably because Jones is close to him, he's like almost like scooped up in his arms, in their arms, and Mark says, "Jones, I have to tell you something.
God, what's?
Can I tell you a secret?
Yeah, of course.
My name's not Marky Mark. It's John, but Sonny called me Marky Mark when he first met me, and I didn't want to disturb him, so it's just everyone just calls me Marky Mark, but my name's not Marky Mark.
Oh,
Just wanted to tell you that."
Oh, so, and you just allowed everyone to call you that for how long?
I mean, I just didn't want to ruffle any feathers, and everyone seemed to like the name, so I just kind of went with it.
Well, I mean, I don't like Mark. That's why I call you Marky Mark.
Well,
Joan, what would you like to be called now? What would you like me to call you?
call me Bruce,
Ooh, Bruce is a good one.
Bruce.
like Bruce Wayne.
No, I thought Bruce Campbell, but Bruce Wayne's better.
Jones,
Well,
one
but
last
Bruce
thing. If I die, you can eat me, okay? I give you permission.
As my friend, I promise you, I will not do that.
No, I'm giving you permission to eat
I
me.
don't want no, because I feel like first off, remember we're gonna go together or we're not, and I don't think that would be a good thing for me to consume you. I'm either gonna be cursed with some like folklore.
Well, I
or
mean, if you
something,
want to die, you
or-
can eat me and choke on me. Like, maybe that's how you go.
I think. Oh wow,
Wow.
you're probably right. I would choke on you.
I've been told I have really nice legs, so maybe you can eat those.
You
There's
do
a lot
have
of
great
meat on them.
calves.
Thank you. I always try to keep them in shape, but all right.
It's hard on a rig.
All right, I'm going to try to speak to another character. I think
I'm
that
gonna.
was...
I'm trying to.
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep him from killing himself,
Yeah,
basically, because I can
yeah.
see he's like really losing
He's
it. So
on
I'm trying to keep it light with him.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, for sure.
Okay, a D4 -1. I rolled a 3, so that's a 2.
Okay.
But I still lose 1 technically, huh?
What do you mean?
Like I
That's-
don't gain a on my isolation die doesn't go up to 1, does it?
Right, but you do gain the tokens, and I
Oh,
think
okay.
if you would like, since we're wrapping up, go ahead and if you want to like wrap that.
I'm
spend
gonna
those
try to
tokens
literally
now.
try to keep going.
Yeah, literally try to keep going,
Right.
just so we can see how this happens.
Well, I rolled a 1 and a 4, and I'll take that 4.
Hell yeah! So that takes up to 2, right?
2
'Cause you were at
isolation die.
So you were at 0, you're up to 2.
So I'm back to
which-
where I started.
Back to where you started,
Right.
which could mean something if you want it to mean something.
Oh, it definitely means something. I mean, you know, I think in reality, I don't think Mark's relationship with any of these people is actually like going to last or be of any real consequence. At least that Sergio's thinking that. So 2 just is like he's still alive.
It's sort of like I feel like Marky Mark has gone. Bruce has gone on a journey by himself.
Yeah.
This whole time, like a lot of things happened in his brain, and everyone's like not really like it's like okay, it was really embarrassing. It's kind of funny, but also like we're all in this shitty situation. Like I feel like Bruce's interpretation of everybody's thoughts has gone through a whole whirlwind when really it's not really changed all that much. Is
Thank
my
you for-
interpretation of that.
Yeah, thank you for justifying a very silly decision.
It's kind of I think it's like playing this game makes me want to do that whenever we're because I'm just
Right.
like, oh, like that makes it can be goofy, but also we can make meaning out of this really
Oh,
goofy
sure.
interaction. I don't want to like impose that on anybody's characters, but that's sort of my reading of the events that I've been able to watch tonight. Like it's been very fun to watch you guys all play. So that's sort of I'm like the audience, like, oh, this is the symbolism, when it's the writers just like, no, it was blue because I like blue. But okay, yeah. So I think there's that. That's a great, and we'll all sort of wrap up like one final thing once everybody is gone. Who would like to go next?
I mean, I have the least amount of tokens, so I can go next.
You have 0, right? You have 0 and you're on 0 on your isolation die, or how many tokens do you have?
I have 0 isolation die, but I have 1 token.
Okay.
So
You get
wanna
eaten by a
spend it?
shark if you don't roll it.
So I think like all of this like continued dread has finally caught up with Henry, and Henry's gonna, gonna freak out a little bit.
Yeah, Henry's gonna freak out.
I'm gonna do what everyone said I was gonna do. So like they're like on the paddles, and they're just like desperately trying to just like, we gotta get back to shore. We gotta get back to a better place. We can't die here. Not with them.
Not like this.
Not
like
with
this,
these.
not
That's
like
the
this.
motivation.
I want to die with people I like. I can't do this.
I love that.
Damn.
Give me that. Spend that token.
I rolled a 4 and a 2, so the
What's a
2,
four?
right?
You know,
Or
you take the
4?
higher one, right?
You take
Oh,
highest
take the higher one.
A
Then
4,
yeah.
I think that makes sense with what you've just narrated. Like, I gotta get the hell out of here. This is not how I go.
Yeah, so I'm just trying
To the
whatever I
rock.
can to get us closer to.
And their isolation die goes up by 2, right?
Yeah, so it goes up to 2 now. So
Oh, so I'm back
perhaps-
at.
you're back at 2. Is Henry thinking of people that they actually like on shore? Like, is that sort of the motivator?
Yeah, Henry's thinking about like the people that they left behind, and wanting to desperately get back to that because it's much better than being on this rig. It's warm and safe, and there are people with thumbs, and that's all that matters.
Y'all have annoyed each other into wanting to live.
Yeah.
Spite.
Spite and just absolute contempt for the people you're around you. Amanda, do you have an idea?
I'm gonna go into a daydream. That's what I'm realizing. What I'm gonna probably do.
Well, you can just spend your tokens and you can narrate it like a daydream if you would like, or if you don't want to spend those tokens, that's also fine. But since this is sort of like the final call, just want to give you the opportunity to spend those.
Oh,
You don't have to. You could do a daydream in like the epilogue if you would like.
Because it's like I think because at this point they're seeing everybody's like morale's gone to shit. This
Yeah.
one's down, and it's kind of like bumming them out. So they're kind of reverting to a comfort in their head and rewatching the Mummy, the 99 Mummy with Brendan Fraser.
As we do.
As we do. And they're at the part where they entered Hamanoptera. Rick stole the Americans' tools, give it to Evie. They're about to go down. Yeah, that's what's happening. They're gonna do the Mummy and the Mummy 2.
So Jones is canonically bisexual, is what I'm hearing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And in fact, they made the third movie after they're done with 2, where it gets even better.
Hell yeah.
We don't count the Red Dragon.
We don't count it. So you will have 4 tokens, which is just fun for you to have now, I guess.
That's all I could think. It was like, we're
yeah,
all...
no, for sure.
Everything's turning up Jones.
Everything's turning up Jones.
Y'all bummed me out, so it's like, all right, I gotta put the mummy on.
But at least I got these tokens.
At least I got these tokens.
And the way this is shaken out means that our friend No Thumbs has taken the final action of
Old Sonny No Thumbs.
Old Sonny No Thumbs.
It's gonna be your final story you tell.
You know, everybody, I said as I careened back to consciousness.
Just
That momentary lapse of consciousness reminds me.
all of this talk of doom and gloom reminds me of a very interesting story that I just remembered. It was February of 2008. Barack Obama had just been sworn in as president, and I want to remind you of something that he said to all of us. Now, of course, I had just lost everything because I had bet on McCain winning the election.
You have my attention, just so you know.
And I just want to remind you of a certain something the Mr. President Barack Hussein Obama told us, which is, yes, we can. Wait, was that Obama? Yeah, it was Obama. Yes, we can. Yes, we can survive.
That was actually very
Coherent
poignant.
of you.
That was
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Hey, Sonny.
Hell yeah.
Hey, Sonny.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
know how you say all the time that you lose everything?
Yes,
it-
ma'am.
Was it worth it?
Well, you see,
Oh
Maria,
You did do that to yourself.
when the next big score is right around the corner,
Oh, there it is.
it's always worth it. You just have to keep believing.
All right. I bet you a chicken sandwich that we do not get saved.
God, I love
You're
that
on.
challenge.
I'll
miss
bet you
that.
everything I's got.
Nothing. That's why I did the chicken sandwich.
I got this shirt on my back.
No, you keep that.
Are you sure?
Oh, yeah. You're going to get sunburned.
Well, all right then.
And plus, there's stains under the armpits. Just saying.
That's where the good luck comes from.
Actually, that's where all the good luck goes. So if you maybe did laundry a little bit more often.
I
then-
haven't changed my shirt since 1975.
And you don't see
And
that
I
as a
ain't
problem.
about to start now.
And you've been losing since then, so it's actually a curse shirt.
But if I take off the lucky shirt now, I won't get the next big score.
Man, life sucks, right?
I think
Anyway.
here, as this conversation I think it fades into music.
This dipshit.
I think that conversation goes on for at least 4 more hours, and
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just a loop of like,
Oh,
but you've
no.
lost
Just that
everything.
4 of
but
us
the
next
big
big
sunbaking at the
score.
bottom of a boat.
And then I think the title card comes up at the end and it says "The Next Big Score" by Mayday Roleplay.
Or no way. It
The
just
next big score will be in Avengers
on.
Endgame.
I was gonna say it's like the end ?
Yeah.
The score will return. The Avengers will return.
I think
Well, we
Just-
all ended with at least 2 isolation die, so I think we probably live, but we probably maybe spend another day or so in the water. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think the it sort of is this like wry optimism that the story presents, where it's just like it's sort of hopeful, but also nobody likes each other. It's very postmodern. Like nobody likes each other. It's not like
That's how we
it's-
do it here.
it's like turning the game on its head, right? Of like it's your connections to other people that help you keep going. In this case, it is the connections between other people that help you keep going, but the nature of the connections is absolutely upside down, and like just it's sort of this perfect like dry comedy version of the game, which I actually like I've not seen that before with the game, and it's very fun. And like that's very cool. Does anybody have anything they want to like? You could do a PS post-credit or mid-credit scene, post-credit scene. Anything you want to do here?
I'm so sorry, guys. I have to say this. I really do think there should be that like post-credit scene. Put some song from Forrest Gump playing as they like kind of find us, but like you can tell like we're all just like we're just worse for wear or some shit like that. He's gone crazy, drawn something, or I don't know. I just think that we should be slightly batshit crazy.
And it's not from like it's not from dehydration or not having food.
No, it's just we annoyed each other.
from being
Each other.
around each other.
Yeah.
We're so toxic with each other.
You're all looking like you've been out at sea for a lot longer than you have, because
The war.
everybody is so
The war.
sick of each other.
Well, that was a lot of fun, Lex. Thank you for running us through
Thank
that.
you, Lex.
Yeah, no, thank you for I did not expect it to go this tone, which is very fun. I love being surprised, and yet obviously I love y'all's RP and stuff. Love to run it again if if Caleb, Zach, and Leg can make it as well. That would
Absolutely.
be wonderful. And yeah, thank you for wanting to play my game and asking me to run this for stream. I'm very it is a game I'm really proud of, so it's great to share it with people and actors that I really respect. And yeah, thanks so much.
If those folks in the chat wanted to check the game out for themselves, where could they find it?
That'll be my itch site, which is TitanomachyRPG.itch.io. And I don't know if I have permissions to put links in the chat.
Yeah, no, definitely do.
Throw links in the chat, please.
And then NIGHTHAWKS will be one of the games there, probably /NIGHTHAWKS. If you add that, we'll probably do the thing. There might, if you can't swing it's like $4.44. If you can't swing it, let me know, and I'll throw some more community copies on there. And check out the other stuff that I have on that site as well. A lot of that stuff is pay what you want, including Caltrip Core. So you can pick up Caltrip Core for free and make your own game tonight if you wanted to. Like stay up for like another hour. You could write a whole game. I've heard of people writing a game with it in like 15 minutes.
Makes sense.
It's super accessible, and it's free. And if you like it, you could come back and give me a few dollars. If not, that's fine too. Other games there, and other D&D stuff as well. But yeah, that's mostly what I'm about. And I appreciate everybody wanting to. I really enjoy this game, playing it, running it, all that stuff.
Well, we certainly enjoyed it, and thanks for running it for us. I mean, we like running games with other folks from the community, and you've always just impressed us so much with how much you output. You have so many cool 5e supplemental ideas, and now this Caltrop Core. So we're always impressed by you, Lex. So thanks so much for running it for us.
Thank you. There's no quality control, so I just put everything out there.
Hey, sometimes the best stuff comes out that way, when you have no filters.
Yeah.
Well, thanks everyone for checking us out. Thanks for hanging out with us, especially the East Coasters that are with us. We will see you next time.
Oh, one last thing.
Yes.
Shout outs to Lando for making us a really nice overlay.
Yeah.
Lando. L's in the chat for Lando.
L's in the chat for
Lando.
Lando's. If you want to commission Lando to make overlays for your own Twitch streams, you can find him at Starkiller Lando on Twitter. Or you can see him hanging around Play Nerd Allies and stuff like that. He's been modding often there. But yeah, thank you, Lando. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Eli, for making sure we dot our T's and cross our I's. All right, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.